Welcome to the third and final edition of Innovation Fridays. By now, you've seen and learned a lot about how you can pivot to success by transforming your business for the digital age. But we have so much more in store for you today. Our featured speaker is Kadeen Mairs, the founder of Dolla Financial. Not only has he recently led his microlending service through an IPO on the Jamaican Stock Exchange, he's also a member of the Forbes Business Council. Mr. Mayers made his start as a financial entrepreneur at just 24, so he has lots of insights to share with you today. He'll be followed by Ramik Major, artist manager extraordinaire and entrepreneur, and Yendi Phillips, TV host and content curator. They'll be discussing their experiences with building their brands in the digital age. And then we'll close with the moment you've all been waiting for, the Innovation Pitch Challenge Final. Business owners from all across the Caribbean pitch their business to win big, but only 3 can win. Our 6 finalists will deliver their final pitch to our expert judging panel. You'll want to hear how they plan to grow their businesses with digital tools and technologies as they compete to share $15,000 USD in cash and services. Now, let's welcome our host, Enterprise Account Manager, Nicholas Amore.
Wow. With that awesome introduction, I think we can kick things off right now, right here. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the third and final leg of the Innovation Small Business Friday series. I'm Nicholas Amore, and I'll be your host taking you through our jam-packed program that we have lined up just for you today. This program is brought to you by Flow Business and BTC Business in collaboration with Tech Beach Retreat. So, last week, Bahamas rocked it. Brought to you Mark Farrell, founder of 10 to 1 Rum, and the week before, Cayman kicked things off with Frank Schilling, and he is the founder of Name Administration and Uniregistry. But this week, we're here live in Jamaica to kick it off, bring it home, and knock it out of the park. Yes. So, right now, let's take a quick recap at our agenda for today. So, first off, we're going to be having Keynote inspirational speaker Kadeen Mairs join us to share his experience. Kadeen is the founder of Dolla Financial Services, and he is also a member of Forbes Business Council. Next up, we're going to have Fireside Chat with Yendi Phillips. She is the content creator and TV host, and she's also going to be joined by Ramesh Major, artist manager, manage artists like Achencia and Ding Dong. And then right after that, we're gonna be, it's the moment, the highly anticipated pitch finals. You're gonna see the final pitches from all the finalists who has sent in their submissions and came out on top. And listen, you're going to be wowed. If you don't believe me, check out this video from our last year's finalists, Outland Herders.
Hi, I'm Gordon Dempster from Outland Herders Creamery and Farmstead, Flow's Innovation Pitch winners for 2021. 2021 Innovation Pitch Challenge was both informative and inspiring.
Winning the Flow Innovation Pitch Challenge was exciting and rewarding.
Over the 8 months after winning, we focused on what we've always been focused on, which is growing, innovating, and creating value. I'd like to welcome all the competitors in the Innovation Pitch for 2022, and I'd like to thank Flow and BTC Business for such an impactful event that is both encouraging and growing for the region.
We are happy to hear from Outland Herders, and we love following our small businesses on their journey to success. Now, listen, our pitch finalists today will have a chance to win a share of $15,000 in cash and prizes. 1 year of business, internet, and smart solution, an hour session with a digital business coach, and guess what? Guess what? Your very own TV commercial produced and aired on TV. Doesn't that sound exciting? Awesomeness, awesomeness. So, without further ado, let me kick things off with our first item on our agenda. Coming to you now with our innovation keynote inspirational speech. Let's invite the king of microfinance, the the young innovator himself, Kadeen Mairs.
Kadeem Mayers is widely regarded as a visionary entrepreneur and strategist leading the way in microfinance. He founded and sold M24 Investments Limited, served as CEO of Dolla Financial Services Limited, and founded Dequity Capital. His Dolla IPO on the Jamaican Stock Exchange was oversubscribed by $4 billion. Today, he'll show you how you can pivot to success and grow your business in the digital age. Let's give a warm welcome to Kadeen Mairs.
One bag of gold medal pan me now. Champion boy, you know the damn thing. Pan a podium and sing anthem.
Thanks for having me. First of all, I'm happy to be here. It's one thing to be a successful entrepreneur, but it's even a greater thing to, be able to inspire other, entrepreneurs and just to, inspire generally. And I'd like to thank Flow for creating this platform that really connects, experienced, successful entrepreneurs, with, startups, with small businesses, sharing ideas of how to, elevate their business. So I'm definitely happy to be here and happy to be privileged to give, the keynote this morning. Thanks for the introduction. I'd like to just introduce myself as I see myself. So, it's always good when you see the nice story, the billions of dollars, but there's always a story behind it. So my name is Kadeen Mairs. My background, where I was born in Westmoreland. So you guys have a Caribbean audience. So I was born in Jamaica. Westmoreland is the parish, and the town is Grangeville. Grangeville was made popular by Vybz Kartel, who has a song, "Me a driving through Grangeville." I'll leave it right there. So I'm from Grangeville. Very humble beginnings. I didn't go to, Harvard or Oxford. Matter of fact, I didn't go to the traditional, educational institutions. I actually got my degree at Montego Bay Community College. So I was Western-based. A lot of times that I meet international people, they ask, like, where did you go to school? Where did you, they try to figure out where did you amass the knowledge that you have. And over the years, for me, I had to expose myself to things that were global. And thanks to the internet, thanks to innovation, information can be shared just as it's being streamed right now. And there might be somebody, we operate our business in Georgetown, Guyana. There might be somebody in Berbice, in Guyana right now, watching this stream, and it might change their lives. I've seen people, I've operated in Haiti. I've been on Gunave Island. I've seen people who have come from nothing to being very successful, and all they wanted was just an inspiration and somebody with the know-how, somebody who they could relate with that would have shown them that, it could be done. So I'm happy to be here. I've started different businesses. After I left, I used to work and go to school in the evenings for my first degree. So I had an early start because while everybody was going to school full-time, I had to go in the evenings and work. I used to work at the bank. Just like most startup successful stories, I had a lot of startups. I used to be a party promoter. That never worked out, especially when it was raining. I used to do printing. I used to print T-shirts. I used to print flyers, you name it. I actually used to host a radio program in Western Jamaica too as well. So, I've dabbled in a couple things. So, as entrepreneurs, sometimes, failing isn't bad. It's actually good that you kind of find your groove and find which business actually fits your personality. And then, based on my experience working at the bank, I eventually went into the lending business. And, today here I am, a publicly listed company, valued $8 billion, most successful IPO, 15,000 shareholders. When I was in Granger, I never thought that this would have been possible, greatest thing, being able to take care of your family, your kids, your parents, be able to buy your mama a house, buy your mama a car. That's what makes you feel successful, not really, what's being put out there. So you have to define your own success and what success actually means for you, One idea can give you a breakthrough. So focusing on that business and working on your mindset is the most important thing. For me, mindset is everything. I know entrepreneurs might be listening and saying, hey, they're listening for the formula to, plug into their business to find out what can make their business successful. And the truth is, you are your business. So once you fix your mind, you fix your business. And you always have two types of people, the haves and the have-nots. And the have-nots are the ones who have not the right attitude, have not the right mindset. They're not the ones who have not the resources. Because, you can lose everything, but whatever is in your mind, whatever is in your head, you definitely can't lose that. The first time I went on a plane, I was probably 23 or 24. When I used to go to school, most of my, classmates, they'd go on Disney trips and stuff like that. I didn't get a visa till I was probably 24 or 23. Granted, I'm on a plane probably like every 2 weeks now. I've been to every continent, and I'm grateful for that. But I had to, as them say, wait a turn, and I've never actually, focused on what was happening for other people and not happening for me, because I know that my time would come. Might be later than others. And just like business, I might have an IPO now. I'm 32. Your IPO might happen when you're 50. And it doesn't mean that my success is greater than your success. Going back to the conversation about a plane, what a pilot always does is they have a checklist. They sit in the cockpit and they flick and they're reading a checklist. And they'll do this every single time before they take off and after they land, they go through a checklist. Not because they don't know what they're doing or because it's a legal requirement, but for something so important, you cannot rely solely on your memory. And a skill set for success as an entrepreneur is creating a checklist, creating a roadmap that you would want to follow and what you have to do. And this goes for the rich, the poor, the in-between. You literally have to get up each morning and go through a checklist of where you want to be, what your goals are. And before you go to bed, you have to reevaluate that just the same way. So that definitely is a tool that can be used, to get you to the next level. It was Earl Nightingale who said, your rewards in life are in exact proportion to your effort. Now, what that means is, and I've tested this over and over, when I was working at the bank, when I just got the job as a teller, I went on the teller line. The first thing that the guys on the line said to me was, welcome to the bank. You have 3-4 years here before you get a promotion. I didn't focus on that. I went in. I outworked everybody. I got there earlier and I left late. I don't complain about overtime because in order to be successful and get what others aren't getting, you have to actually put in more work than you're being paid for. And that also goes to your business. If you're in the business of offering service to a customer is complaining about the meal, don't find excuses. Give them another meal and offer them the next meal for free. It's going to hurt your pocket, but your rewards in life will be in exact proportion to your effort. So in some way, you will be rewarded, and you kind of have to believe in something that doesn't exist in order for you to develop that faith to know that things will work out. So a lot of success isn't, on paper, but it's with your mindset and just stepping forward. I have a couple things that I use as a strategy that I'd pass on to entrepreneurs. And the first one is, whatever business you are in, you find a local company that does exactly what you're doing. Don't find a global company, because global strategies might not work in your economy, in your country. You find a local company that's successful. And then what you do now is that you study them until you figured out their blueprint. You know, it's like you're obsessed with them because they're so super successful. So if you want to get into microfinance, you read this guy's story. Because I used to read Leachin's story. I know his story so well that when he gets up to give a speech, I can regurgitate. I know exactly what he's going to say. I've watched every single one of his interviews. I know exactly how he thinks, right? And I also do that with Warren Buffett. So I know who I want to be like. So what happens is that you have to get obsessed with what you want to become. And naturally, you start acting like this person. You start making decisions like this person. Now, once you get the blueprint, you write that down and you reread it every day. You execute just as they have. It's very important. You know, something that they don't teach you in school and they dissuade you, it's wrong, and that's copying. But I actually think that they should have a course in copying, proper copying. Not copying the person's name on your paper, but the way how to copy properly. You know, if you want to be a successful, artist manager like Ramesh, just copy every single thing that Ramesh has done. Study him like a book, study him live, And what will happen is that you will get his blueprint. And then all you have to do now is just to figure out how can I do this differently? How can I scale what he has done? How will what he has done now be done differently 5 years from now? And then you will find yourself a formula that works for you. William James said the greatest discovery is that the human beings can change their lives by altering their attitudes and mind. So in other words, you become what you think about. So you have to begin to act as the person you most want to become. As I said, I would, and the acting is not physically acting, but it's just the mindset, and then whatever you want to become, then it becomes easier, it becomes natural. Your business is a reflection of you, and if you fix yourself, you'll fix your business. Fixing your business isn't about fixing your cash flow or fixing your structure, your accounting, or how do I get customers? The truth is, if you fix yourself, the customers will come to you. Most successful businesses, it's the person that people are attracted to. People buy Tesla stock not because they like electric cars, but they believe in Elon's vision for his business. So we have to realize that the business will be you, and if you fix yourself, you can fix your business. Start with small attitudes like courtesy, a smile, patience, helpfulness, forgiveness, and you'll definitely have a successful small business.
Wow.
That's my keynote.
Listen, that was absolutely amazing. I've been trying to take some notes here, and I couldn't stop listening, while trying to take the notes. It was very hard, but listen, we need a masterclass. We need a masterclass. And listen, we have some questions that we want to ask you. I mean, the chat online has been buzzing, and let me just, the chat has been buzzing, and we want to ensure that we get some of these questions out. All right, so give me 1 second. All right, so first question, here we go. So, Kadeen, you're a successful entrepreneur now, but what was your passion or dream career while growing up in school?
This is a funny story, but I liked a girl one time so much she was going to study nursing, and I almost did it. So, I mean, as you grow older, I have a son, he's 5 years old. I asked him, what he wants to become. And every time he tells me a public sector job, I'm like, you can't drive the car that I drive with that job. So, I mean, it's not about money or, you have to define your own success, but each time you grow, what your dreams are might change over time. When I went into financial services, that inspired me to start my own financial services company. So, I mean, if you look in my yearbook, I wanted to become a bank manager until I decided that I could own the bank, so my ambition changed.
Awesome stuff. All right. So we have our next question. All right, so we've spoken already about the milestones you've achieved recently in taking Dolla Financial public on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Congratulations again. All right, so I'm sure this wasn't an overnight success story and lots of hard work went in behind the scenes. So aside from yourself, who else would you credit with helping you to achieve this milestone?
I mean, you know, I definitely want to, in terms of my company and its success, I had a very strong team behind me. I had people who left their jobs, their 9 to 5s, to, you know, start when I was a startup and work with me to build a company. So definitely my team behind me, I definitely had to thank my team.
Awesome, awesome. All right, so our next question is, in your entrepreneurial journey, have you ever had a mentor? What advice would you give to budding entrepreneurs looking to choose a business mentor?
Yeah, so I get this question all the time, right? And a lot of people ask, you know, who's your mentor, who guided you? And here's the truth. And this is a method that works for anybody. I never had a mentor. My mentor was, you know, Warren Buffett by watching his YouTube videos every single day. While I'm getting ready, while I'm taking a shower, I'm listening to somebody who is successful on YouTube, just playing over, and I listen to that video 10 times. And it's almost as if that person was talking to me, right? I'm passing on lessons. So it's very important to understand that with technology, mentorship is changing. You have to know how best you can absorb information. And most times, you know, Google is my mentor. You know, Investopedia is my mentor. Like, whatever you want to know, it's already there. You don't have to, you know the successful person personally for him to give you the steps. The information is already out there. So I encourage a lot of, small entrepreneurs to, just as we use, our Instagram or our Twitter, use our YouTube for, inspiration and for that mentorship.
Okay, awesome. So, what are some of the key elements of being a successful mentor or small business owner? And what advice would you give to a person who is seeking to become an entrepreneur?
Well, so there's a myth that, when you become an entrepreneur, you all of a sudden, have more time. You don't have to answer to nobody. I have people that used to work with me. They said that, Kadeen, I want to leave this bank because I want to run my own business because I don't want nobody telling me what to do. I want to work on my own time. And I said to them, sometimes it gets so hard. I said that I'm just going to go get a job.
Oof.
Being an entrepreneur, So it's not for persons who want to work less. It's actually more work. It's more rewarding, but it's definitely something that it takes a lot of perseverance, and you have to naturally want. You have to have an idea that you naturally want to expand on that idea and turn it into a business. Entrepreneurship is not for persons who want more time on their hands or don't, because when you become a business owner, you want to go into the restaurant business for yourself. Every day, a customer is going to tell you how you should have cooked the meal, and you have to listen to them. So all of a sudden, you're not working for the one boss again. You're working for. Right now, I have almost 15,000 shareholders. So now I have 15,000 bosses. When I go to an AGM, even a guy with $100 worth of shares is going to tell me how I should run the business. And the truth is, I have to listen.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I bet some of us never thought about that, right? But listen, take note. We have one more question here. You are in the lending business. How much money you have borrowed for your business, and what guidance do you have on this topic for entrepreneurs?
Well, all right. So I'm in the lending business. How much money I've borrowed? I always tell the story that when I started out, I actually borrowed money to start my business. So I had to take a bank loan and then, do a proper, stick to my projections and be disciplined in terms of the money that I borrow, how I'm going to repay it and still use it to grow my business. So my advice to entrepreneurs is, if you want to start a business, you don't have the cash, you can borrow it, but you have to be disciplined. if you decide to take that route.
Wow. And how much does discipline play as a character trait in becoming a successful entrepreneur? This is a very important question for a lot of us out there, especially when you touch on earlier that we have to remember that we leaving our job is not going out there to have free time. But
Yeah.
So tell us, how much does discipline? How
Discipline-
important is it?
Discipline for me means 1 meal a day, eating 1 patty, no cocoa bread, and just drinking a box juice for probably 2 years. That's the kind of discipline you have to have. The discipline where your business is becoming successful. You could have buy a car, you could have do something, and you still put back the money in the business, and you're still taking taxi. Discipline is, not listening to what people have to say about what the decisions that you should have made, but knowing that what you're doing is working for you and sticking to that principle. So for me, that's what discipline is as an entrepreneur.
Okay. And what would you say are some of the key milestones? I mean, we know that the media is plastered with, with Dolla Financial Services just being listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Listen, can we have another round of applause for that? But what would you say are some of the key milestones that you had in your career thus far?
I mean, throughout my career, the boldest move that I've ever made was actually handing in my resignation to my manager at the bank. I think that was a key milestone. Other milestones, outside of business itself that would have kind of put me in this position is, I've had, close to death experiences, car accidents, and what that teaches you is that, tomorrow is not promised. You have to do what you can while you can. And, the simple Parkinson's law, which is the time that you're given is the time that you'll take to do a task. So that means that if I think that I have to become, the head of my industry in the next 5 years, that's the time that I'm given, and I'll do it in that time. But if you don't give yourself that time, or you think that you always have time, then you'll never execute on it.
And we have another question here. How do you fund the seeding stage? How did you select the right partners, and when is the right moment to have a partner?
So seeding stage for people, there's 3 ways that you get money to start a business. You call it the 3 Fs. Friends, family, or fools. Because only a fool would give money to a man who's just going to start a business, right? If you don't have options to any other 3, then you probably have to leverage your current income to get a loan, which is what I did. So that's exactly how I funded it. You can't directly go to an investor from day one. It took me years of growing my business before I could sell that business, before I could get the confidence of the industry to now be able to invest, to get to a stage of. So there are different growth stages. So you have to know the level that you are and kind of continue to grow small until you can get to another stage to get the funding that you need.
Yeah, I know that's a very important thing for a lot of persons, starting out. How will they get the capital to start, and what direction they need to go? Right. We have another question here from a 19-year-old. This is Tyrese, who wants to know, what advice would you give to a young person trying to start out?
What I'd say to a young person wanting to start out is, and I'll just use a simple example. If you want to open your own garage and you're young, you're definitely going to have to spend some time working in somebody else's garage before you can open your garage. The truth is, we have to accept that we weren't born with the experience, and the best experience is learning from somebody else and not making those mistakes for yourself. So for young entrepreneurs, you want to get into finance business, you want to get into the entertainment business, you might want to try to understudy somebody. For me, when I was going into finance, I didn't care about the salary that I was getting. I would have worked for free at a bank just to get the experience. So you have to have that mindset of doing what it takes to get the experience.
Good stuff. Good stuff right there. So we have just 3 more questions. 3 more questions.
This is actually my favorite part.
This is your favorite
yeah.
part. So listen, guys, keep the question coming. I'm kidding. All right, so looking back, what would you change in your life if you could change anything?
I mean, that's a simple one. I wouldn't change anything. You know, every mistake, every decision that you make, whether you choose to take the left road or right road, it led you to where you are today. So changing one thing might change everything. So there's nothing that I would have changed.
Okay, awesome. So, and this is my final question, and we're going to be wrapping right here, but what's next for Kadeen?
Well, what's next for me? Platforms like this, you know, sharing the knowledge that, you know, I've acquired over the years, you know, career-wise, continuing to expand, you know, Dolla into other Caribbean countries.
All right. Sounds. So, can we just go there a little bit more right there? All right. So, expanding into other countries, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the other countries are you looking to expand into?
I mean, we've always spoken about expanding into other CARICOM countries. We're a regional company. We're in Guyana. We're looking at other countries that we could possibly expand into that's within the CARICOM space, you know, probably St. Lucia, probably Barbados, just different countries. That's what we're focusing on for Dolla. Outside of that, I also have a private equity company that has a diverse portfolio of different companies in healthcare and stuff. So it's all about growth and, you know, building a global company.
Okay. All right. So that concludes this section of our program right now. So we're going to but before you go, I just have one more question. I see that, like, I don't know why I told it. So I told the chat to, you know, come in, and they're just springing in the questions, springing them in. So, what are some of the, what would you tell you mentioned that you have a 5-year-old. Yeah. What would you tell your 5-year-old son to? Would you recommend your direction to him, or the path or the journey that you had taken?
No, I mean, his journey will be a lot different from mine. You know, he's not gonna grow up in, you know, Grange Hill, or, you know, his story is gonna be a lot different. But it's not about that; it's about the principles that you instill. Okay. And there's certain fundamental principles, and they're very simple and basic. Courtesy, kindness, patience, forgiveness. Those are the things that you want to instill, because those are the things that, as my grandmother would say, you know, manners will bring you far, you know. So those are the principles I want to instill. Anything that he wants to be, that's up to him. Awesomeness. So, all right, so we're definitely going to be wrapping right here. Thank you so much, Kadeen. And ladies and gentlemen, don't worry, you're going to be seeing Kadeen a little bit later. He's going to be one of our judges in the pitch final. So right at this time, right at this moment, we're going to be moving into the fireside chat with Yendi Phillips and Romesh Major.
Introducing Romesh Major, a successful entrepreneur, artist manager, and producer. Romesh launched his fashion line, Romesh Wear, in 2005, building his business until he was designing outfits for some of the top acts in reggae and dancehall, including Bounty Killer, Beenie Man, and Taurus Riley. In 2009, he expanded into music production and artist management, launching his own label, Romesh Wear and Records. His clients include Shensia and Ding Dong Rivers. With this wealth of experience, Romesh is here to help you learn how to build your brand in the digital age. Welcome, Romesh Major. Yendi Phillips is a television presenter, professional dancer, model, actress, beauty queen, businesswoman, and much more. She entered the spotlight in 2007 when she represented Jamaica at the Miss World pageant and has since parlayed that experience into a variety of notable achievements. Yendi currently wears many hats, including those of a brand ambassador, social media influencer, manager of a nonprofit foundation, and most challenging and rewarding of all, motherhood. She's joining us today to share her experience with building her brand in the digital age. Please welcome Yendi Phillips.
Hi there. Thank you so much for joining us here today as we are going to have one of my favorite conversations. Let me explain why it's a favorite for me. So I'm really proud of Flow Business for choosing to incorporate this in the innovation topic because as a practitioner of the arts, I find that often the conversation does not happen around taking the arts seriously as a business. So I just want you to stop and think for a second. Just think about it. You get in your car, you're on your way to work, you turn on your radio, you're consuming audio. It's music. That's a form of consumption. That is a form of the arts. Let's get home. We've had a long day at work. We get home, we shower, we plop in the bed, we turn on our television. We watch our favorite show. It might be, one of the Real Housewives of, Atlanta, Dubai, name it, Beverly Hills, my not so guilty pleasure. But what you are doing, again, you're consuming and you're consuming content. This is also a form of the arts. Let's also think about the fact that you open your newspaper and you're perusing, you're reading articles, you're interfacing with commercials and advertisements. That's also a form of the arts. You're looking at graphic art. And so I'm really excited today to explore the entrepreneurship and the business side of the arts, which with none other than Romesh Major, who you were just introduced to briefly. And then I get to kind of chime in a little myself and say something here and there as it relates to content and the consumption of content and the business around music, art, and all in between. So, without further ado, let me welcome to... Oh, not the drum roll. Are we drum rolling it? Is that what we're doing, Ramesh? Mr. Romesh Major, who I feel like all of us know in Jamaica and the Caribbean and the world at large that he's a serial entrepreneur. When it comes to business and taking this and turning it into this, I don't know if you're going to have someone greater than Romesh at doing that. So it's going to be a really exciting conversation. Good morning, Romesh.
Boy, what an intro. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you going to pay me to just walk with you all around the world and introduce you as, this major deal?
That would be so great. When I can afford it, I'll do that.
Well, have my people, actually no. It's really your people that you have to call me, because remember me is my people.
Boy, I tell you, look like I'm going to take over your career and make you be my people.
Well, let's talk after. Let's talk a bit about what I think is a really exciting story for you. Let's talk about your start. Because, the average person will say their start came after they've already studied, they figured out their niche, but your start came before that. Walk me through when Romesh first got a little taste of being a businessman.
Well, I've been a businessman from I was going prep school, basically.
Yeah.
Children at home, please don't do like me. But I used to get paid to do children maths homework at my prep school. And my payment wasn't always money.
Yeah.
One patty with a slice of cheese could have done the homework.
Ironically, that's before cheese patty was a thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, actually invent cheese patty, right? So, but we'll get to that in the next bit. But honestly, from I was a child growing up, even my sister used to tell me this story that I used to save money that I get it. Yeah. And I used to put it in a little drawer anytime. I put a bell on the drawer anytime that bell move around, go and say, oh, what thief money? So from younger, I've been someone that I love money, so you have to work hard to get the money. So prep school, I used to do maths homework for money, and then after that, when I started high school, I used to sell glow stick. Them time the Nokia phone just come in, I used to start upgrade people Nokia phone and put on the vibrating battery and the little LED light antenna. There's so much stuff I used to do. They used to call me Finsack in Arden High School because I used to start sell CD. So I don't know, I just the grace of God and because I just like the stuff. I was not a bookworm. I was always that person that I just love to get things done. So going to class, do my work, I always pass my exam. Wasn't the number one person in class, but I always get the job done. Right. Because in Jamaica schooling, if you don't get a certain average, you cannot move to the next grade. I always get the average, get the great average, but reach there. Yeah. And I am always someone that people used to look for me because I'm brown and I'm Indian and some come from uptown, but me- I was born in Kingston, Jamaica, Walton Park Road, Kingston 11, which is not a middle class area, but maybe because of looks, people used to think that, but me always at work, always working, and up to now, people used to say, yo, you're comfortable enough now, you're supposed to can lay back, but as Kadeem said before, when you reach a boss, you actually start work more, and I am not a person that, I don't like the word boss, I like the word leader. So if I'm a leader, I have to set by example for my team.
You know, I love that you said that because let's explore that a little. As a leader, let's talk a bit about some of the qualities that you think a leader should possess, not only for themselves as a leader, he or she, but in terms of in relating to their staff, their employees, the team, and also how that translates rather or communicates to the consumers at large.
So put it this way, as a leader, you're supposed to know about your brand or whatever work you're doing. That's the biggest thing because me can't sew, but I am one of Jamaica top designer, and back then I started off doing my clothing. That's where a lot of people know me. And just like any other businessman, when you master a craft, you leave that craft and go to a next craft. So, you know, I have a factory. I started out using my mother's old sewing machine, the old boat sewing machine where you have to turn the little something and take time with that.
Crank it.
Yeah, that's what I had, and I got a tailor to come in and work from there, and I basically have a factory right now. It's like, as you go, and you know, we're here on an interview with Flow Business, but honestly, me have to big up the Flow, the company itself, because they were my biggest customer back then when I was doing Ramesh wear. They really put me on the map certain way. But back to that, you have to have workers that respect you, and that is the thing. I am a person that I might be the last person to leave my business place, and I'm the first person there. You will, next thing me and all of my staff, them always argue about, boss, me tired. You know, it's not a slave driving thing or anything, but that to me, that word is a negative word. If in this life that we live where basically we don't get value for money, because if you look at the normal average salary, that cannot really make nobody live off. You don't have no room for have little extra money for do something fun. You understand? So at the end of the day, if you're gonna keep on and come every week, say you're tired, take a break. Give somebody the chance to do better work than you then. You get me? I say, yes, we're human and we need for rest, but a lot of my staff love say, boss, I'm tired, but yet it's Friday, Saturday, them gone at every party. And then Monday, them late for work.
Right.
So as a leader, I have to show the example, say, yo, no matter if my fly go and show a chance here, I leave a next show and go to Ding Dong, I still reach at my office. I still tell everybody I have a 9 to 5. I still read all my emails. I still send estimate. I still send invoice. I still do the stuff where everybody will say, oh, you're so busy, get 2, 3 secretary. Yes, we can get that. But no one will ever be who you are as the leader of the team.
Absolutely. So we do have a Caribbean-wide audience. A while ago, you mentioned Flo being one of your first customers. For those who may not know, how was Flo one of your first customers? You mentioned the factory, you mentioned the sewing machine. But let us talk a bit about what exactly were you selling at that time?
No clothes?
Okay.
So
what kind of clothes did it sell?
The brand, the first brand that I originated, and that's the first brand because business-wise, but back then, you know, they used to call me Finsac Entertainment before me even know I was going to be here. And, you know, with the grace of God, everybody asks me how I reach, and I just like to tell them, say, yo, the grace of God, God put me here for a reason. So that is just main thing. I won't be like one of them person and say, yo, when me I grew up, this me did want to do. God just give me well, I get the big idea for a reason. It keep on giving me.
It's full of brains and ideas.
And keep on going. So I guess it's a big engine, a V12. You understand? So yeah.
I love that you mentioned God because here is my question for you. Some will say, how much of it is business and strategy and going at it and work ethic, and how much of it is faith and or luck and or timing?
So it's a little of everything. You know, it's a little of everything. You, as a business person, again, everyone that's watching this, that doing business, every business come with a different strategy. Every business have a different background. Every business have different timing. You understand? Certain business are seasonal. Certain business depends on who you are, where you are. You get me? I say, so with me now, I think my work ethics is my biggest thing, and then my personality. I'm not someone that I won't go and talk to you if I don't know you, but I'm a very people person. No matter if you are rich, if you are poor, if you are homeless, if you are whatever, I treat everybody with the same respect. Everybody say I'm miserable. From the Prime Minister of the country where I've made so much clothes, to the little man where I print a t-shirt for party, I show everybody the same respect. So our next thing is respect. Then our next thing, I believe in a God a lot. Because, a lot of people question that with them religion and everything, but when I pray, it relaxes me. You understand? And some things when I see happen is like, I just not know how I reach here, and I know say me alone do it. You get me? I say, and it's like basically clothing to music, music to promotion, promotion to promoter, promoter to one of Jamaica top manager, manager to producer, and the business just keep everything connect.
Yeah.
You understand? Everything keep connected, and that's what I love. A lot of people might look at your business and say, yo, you do too much things, brother. You want to make all of the money, but guess what? It's not about making the money only, because no one has ever looked and said, yo, how much people in your team? I manage more than 135 people. Yes, we have Ding Dong, we have Shensia, I have hosts, I have DJs, but I still manage over 120 female and male that are dancers, sales rep that work for corporate countries, right? And we have and I'm one of the few corporate company as like a Ramesh Entertainment that brings this promotion to other islands.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
So we are, apart from, yes, we're doing a lot of stuff for ourselves, we're still making a lot of income for the country. Because if me can say, yo, every month, me make more than 150 persons make an income. And these other persons make other people make income. You have Ding Dong that him have a big team of 15, you have Shensi have a team and an next big team of 10. And all of these people, they have family and friends that they take care of. So you talk about in a space of a month of thousands of people will help.
Right.
So it's not just about me, it's about me. If a little man like me will come from Walton Park Road and I can have a company where we feed so much people, it shows the structure of what we do in the business that we're doing.
I love that you mentioned structure, because I want us to talk a little bit about the key elements outside of just leadership. Let us look at being a small business owner and a successful entrepreneur. What are some of the key elements that you have found that has really set you apart in that space?
Why? There's so many things. I think the biggest thing with me is my team. I think the biggest thing with that is a team, because people will come and say, oh, boy, you admit this, you take somebody from 0 and bring them 100, but really and truly, if that person didn't have the work ethics and have the talent as well, they wouldn't reach there. You understand? And I just feel that the biggest thing with any business and any company, that's not, I don't think business company and leaders and bosses even show this, that without a team, we're nothing. As the big man, without the team, you're nothing. You have to start from 0 and reach there. Yeah, and since we're talking about that as well, remember a lot of people ask me to do interviews and stuff, and remember I came on your event, your show?
Yes.
And I told you that you're going to see the difference when you interview Shen, the reach that it will get.
Yes.
And you trust me, and then you interview me,
Yes.
and I tell you, say, look what I'm going to do when you interview me, I'm going to make it go viral.
Well,
and what did I do? But before you say anything else, I just ask you, how is that story? Because you're talking about me alone. You're a businesswoman, you know?
not you
Remember
flipping the
from-
script.
Yes. So me ask
No.
you now.
That's not in the script. This is where we cut.
How
No,
is
no,
your
kidding.
show doing? Because you started that show from 0.
I did.
And honestly, not because I'm there with you, okay, you know me, I'm not a hypocrite, I talk straight up. That's one of the best shows on YouTube right now.
Thank you.
So give me a little rundown, no, man, with the Caribbean and the people them know what go on, man.
What
People
he
only can book me for be a host, okay?
well, what is funny is you actually just turned me into a mush ball. I'm not even going to lie. I went from being like, wait, what, huh? To like, oh, you shouldn't have. But no, you should have. Say it again. What you said a while ago? No, I'm kidding. They say necessity is the mother of invention, right? And the truth is, I've always wanted to have my own show. If somebody was to say to me, what did you want to do as a little girl? I would say, I want to be a TV host. I want to have my own show. I loved summer holidays because I got to stay home with my mother. and I got to watch the Today Show in the mornings, and I would say, oh, I like Katie Couric, I want to be like Katie Couric, and then I'd go in the mirror, and I'd be like, good morning, and welcome to da-da-da-da-da-da. And as life would have it, I ended up being the host of a morning show with doing Smile Jamaica, and, you know, it's funny, I hear people say it all the time, and I don't think they understand the weight of it. When I finished my master's program, Ramesh, and I was leaving school, the head of my department gave me a card. And in the card was a little note that said, whether you think you can or think you can't, either way you are right. And I've never, ever forgot that. Because they say, so thinketh a man, so he is, right? And so for me, it was, whether you think you can do it or you can't do it, either way you're going to be correct. Either way you are right. So what you put out there, what you manifest, what you think, what you pray about, truly will become real. Thoughts become things. And so, as little as I was saying, I want to be a morning show host, I want to be on TV, that came into passing. And then I wanted to have my own show. Fast forward, I was like, I'm not have the budget. I don't have the money. I don't have the budget. This is my vision for it. I mean, there's a cameraman standing right in front of me right now who can set you. I'd have little conversations with him on the set of Smile Jamaica, and I'd be like, yo, when I do my show, I'm going to have a platform and a live band, and the thing I'll go turn up. It's going to be special. That takes money. And I didn't have the funding. And then I stopped, and the world stopped. And then I said, okay, it may not be as big as my vision is, but why not just start? And I was like, all right, let me look in my account. I'm going to say, all right, this is what's happening now. Let's not forget, this is at the beginning of the pandemic. My industry, our industry is shut down. So I don't know when my next job is going to come. So me now saying, well, let me go into my account and go into my budget and spend some money on something I don't know what the return on the investment is going to be, is tricky. But if you're not going to bet on yourself, if you're not going to gamble on yourself, who's going to gamble on you? I'm going to say, well, I'm going to bet on me, because if I don't bet on me, how will my sponsors bet on me? You understand? So I'm going to say, all right. And I called a crew, and we sat down in my backyard with my first guest. My first guest was Tammy Chin. And sat under the tree in my backyard, and I loved it. I was just like, but this is really what I love, because I love human experience. I love the human story. I know Ramesh different from Ramesh on the road. And I'm like, no, but if people really stopped and understood what made Ramesh tick, they would understand that there's something different about him. How do I unpack this thing and let people see the human side of these people, humanize them, and let people realize we're not very different from you? And that was really important to me. And then I was just like, yeah, so I'm going to pay for this for myself. And I ended up doing a full entire season without a sponsor, without any help, because again, the whole world is still shut down. But my biggest lesson is in that time was that content is king. Because regardless of what the world is doing, regardless of how things are moving, people consume the arts. As I said in my introduction, whether it is via music, whether it is via billboards, whether it's via commercials, whether it's via television shows, people consume content. Content is king. And so I love that you not so shamelessly plugged my show. Let's get a little shankle dip in here.
Yeah, me take over now. You know.
No. I can actually answer your question now, because I haven't answered it yet. I got excited. To answer your question, there is nothing better than doing what you love and being paid to do what you love and being excited by what you love, and you actually get to live the life you love as a result of doing what you love. Does that make sense? So as a byproduct of it, you get to really experience life in the way you truly want to experience life. That for me is living. That for me is having a career worth having and investing in. And I'm actually proud of myself for investing in myself.
Proud of you as well.
Because it's really gone far. It's
Yeah.
really gone far. The other day I went to a Miami Heat game, and I'm walking in the stadium, I swear to you, and somebody shouted out, Yendi, when is show coming back? And I was like, soon. I was so excited, you know? And then on the back of what you were saying, I remember when we did our interview, and I said to you, all right, Ramesh, the episode coming out next Sunday. You know, I really want you to give the thing a strength for me and push the thing. And it showed me networking in a way that we no longer, or rather that we didn't initially think of networking. So when I would have been doing my master's, my business master's, it would have been in 2010. There was absolutely, we had Facebook, so I'm one of the original Facebook users. My Facebook address is a .edu address, because it was only for college students. So let me just start there. Original Facebook user over here. There was no Twitter, there was no Instagram, there was no TikTok. When I said to you, Ramesh, the episode is coming out, you said, watch me. I'm going to blow it up for you. And so said, so done. It's no longer about sharing business cards, but there's a way to network and connect in an innovative space, in the tech space, that is just absolutely mind-blowing, because my feed blew up. Me never know so much people, you know, who would have posted things. Honest to goodness. Honest to goodness. And then you went viral because I asked you about how fatherhood is treating you, and the people them done you.
Well, I mean, I tell you. As well, that was the first. That I made that public there that I would be getting a daughter soon.
That's right.
That
You
was
shared
the
that
first.
with me.
I shared that live on your platform.
Yes.
Even my family call me and curse and say, you go up on people think, go tell them and not tell me.
Well, tell them that's because I trust
But
her.
you said some stuff that I want to speak to the business people them about.
Yeah,
right?
let's go there.
And I'm telling you this from my heart that the biggest thing in a business, no matter where you go school, go do, no matter where you learn, no matter whatever, the biggest thing is to start the business. Starting anything is the biggest and the hardest thing. If you love something and you want to do something, don't sit down and say, oh, me I wait till me get this or me I go get this. Same thing like what she do. If the world never stopping her, maybe she wouldn't start it yet because I would have still keep busy. And I can tell you this, that if you have an idea in your mind, no matter even if you don't have the funds, because you know a lot of people love to get up and say, oh, me go buy some clothes. Me I wait till me have 2,000 US, then me go buy some clothes. No. You can start from 100 US, turn that in 200, 200 in 400, 408. That's how you start a business. That's the biggest thing. And then the second thing, no matter what, failure should not stop you. Failure should make you stronger and learn from your mistake for do better.
Yeah.
Because as a business person, we must fail. Any businessman come out and say, oh, from the start it's all uphill and I've never failed.
Lies.
Even the man that we just interviewed were rich. When he see the stock market I go down, he must stress, he must fret. But again, it's how you structure your business.
Yeah.
You get me? I say, so you have to structure your thing and your mental space is your biggest space, because you can't just get up and say, yo, and that's the thing I see with a lot of Caribbean business is like they don't put room for failure. They don't leave a space that say that, yo, if this fail or this stop or whatever. And I felt it in entertainment.
Yes.
But I can tell you this, if Jamaica have 1 million artists, 1 million DJ, 1 million whatever in entertainment, I can tell you that out of everybody, I was the one, even in the whole pandemic, I did not stop.
I know that.
I started an online radio station.
Yeah.
I started to keep events within the radius of the rules and regulation.
Right.
So even if 10 people
Attend
come,
people.
10 people
Right.
come. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's not about because the party say it have to lock off 12, mean you can't keep a party till 11:59. Not because the rules and regulations say, oh, 100 people can come at the event and you used to keep people with 10,000. You can't change your stuff. So in business as well, it's all about flexibility.
That's a very
Because
key
you
point.
market a product in Jamaica, you might not market a product like that in Trinidad or Bahamas or even America.
Yes.
So you still, as a business person, you have to be flexible. You have to know your surrounding, know the new customers, know everything, and just change your plan.
Absolutely. We do have a question here for you. There's a member of our audience, Sandra. Hi, Sandra. Who says she keeps failing and needs inspiration. What would you say to her? Perfect question on the back of what you just shared.
So first thing is not what would I say to her. First thing is, why do you keep failing?
Right.
How are you failing?
Right.
You know, you have to find out the reasons why you're failing. And again, as a business person, it's not every business going to go all the way.
Right.
So if you have a business that keep on failing, think about how you can make it better and what's the reason. If you cannot solve that, get out before it's too late and start a next business.
Right.
Remember, Kadeem again said that he was party promoter, this, that, whatever. I started out with clothing, but after that I started a restaurant. It did good, but I was such a people person that people trust the food too much. And if you're in the Caribbean, that means they credit the food. So like you would have companies come and say, send 10 lunch for the team and they didn't pay on time. And as a small business, we couldn't roll stuff, so it went and it didn't do good.
Right.
But guess what? I learned from that. And it's not like say I don't do anything to do with food because I keep some of the biggest cookout in Jamaica.
But I know, so you don't trust nothing anymore.
No.
Yeah.
I have to get a PO first. That's the contract to state that's good. But we still do stuff because I prefer to do if I can afford it and someone come and say, may I beg you trust me 10 shirt, I prefer to give them. And ask for some form of promo or something.
Right.
So if them can pay, them pay. But if not, at least I got something from them to state. Because as a businessman, we want to win in some way. Every win is not about cash as well. Because when I started out my clothing line, I can tell you this. If I sell 5 shirts, I give it 30.
Right. Wow. Really?
I used to just get stuff, try get back the liquid that I started with and turn it. And then the rest of stuff as profit was used for promo. So again, it just still, because you keep on a fail me, they need to stay in that same business.
Right.
But just don't give up.
Right. We have another question here. It says, how do you convince people to partner with you on new projects in an area they are not familiar with you? In example, this will be my question, Miss World to content creator. Or do you want to answer that one? How did you go from Miss World to content creator?
Well, I did a couple surgeries.
First of all, we need to start with the wave. Can you want to practice the wave, or we're doing that? Yeah, no, we're moving on. Okay, good. So, I think if you take a billboard that's on the side of the road, right? You would have to determine how many people actually engage with your billboard is not the easiest thing. You don't know how many people actually see it. You don't know how many people retain the information on the billboard, and then for a marketer to continue to purchasing that space, they don't actually know the value for their money. The beauty of the digital space is you get hard numbers. So as I said before, when I decided I was going to invest in myself and I paid myself for my first season, I then had numbers. So I had numbers to say to sponsors and to corporate partners, I could say, these are the amount of people that actually engage with the platform. I could then say to this partner, I have 10 million people who come on my platform in a month. This is the value that I can give you for your money. Because then you have hard numbers. And typically, corporate entities or business partners want to know their return on investment. They want the value for money.
1 second. Can I stop you right there as well?
Yeah.
Yes, you're correct on numbers, but it still depends on the product as well.
Okay.
Because as a music manager, I've seen where my artist does a song and it goes 10, 15 million views in a month.
Right.
I've seen where they drop one song and in 3 months you can't even reach 1 million.
Right.
So as much as you will have hard numbers, them have subscribers, them have views, if the product is not good, it won't go where it's supposed to
So
go.
the content is quality. Thank you. I see what you did there. Well. Thank you. Appreciate you. I see what you did there. Thank you. Another question for you. How have you managed to remain relevant and persevere?
So again, being relevant is all about flexibility. Again, you have to change as it go. You know, sometimes we look in business and we see a lot of people, younger people, even before this we were speaking, I was saying that, women now work harder than before.
Yeah.
You know, growing up, people used to say, man for work and woman for stay home and take care of the family. But women are working now because women kind of have more patience than men. And because some of them now do them job, the women have to go out there and do things better.
Right.
So, I think it's all about flexibility. Because even with me now, with my companies and my business keep going, I keep on building on my brand.
Right.
So suppose me to just stay a clothing only. When we had the pandemic other day, people are not going out, people are not going to work. So what them are going to dress up and go live? Them are going to dress up and work. So I wouldn't have no income.
Right.
And then now we'll go on entertainment. So you have to keep on building on what you have. And even with shows, you do a show, like you say, you love the feeling of being homely and there, but I guarantee you're not going to stay there all the while.
Right.
You get me? I say worse if someone come to you and say, you get a big superstar for interview and them not fly come to Jamaica. You have to go do it in the studio, you have to go do something. So you still have to be flexible. You still have to look on where the world is because I don't even know my Facebook password, you know.
Right.
I was one of the most popular person on Twitter when Twitter just came out. I had like 12,000 people Twitter a long time ago. But don't even remember my Twitter. You understand?
Right.
I love Instagram and I understand it, so I work it. Even though I don't remember my TikTok password. So it's just like what you do and what you care about. You have a lot of people know they're like you're a party promoter and you don't have a good Instagram page. Ridiculous. Party promotion now is not just all about flyers.
No.
You have to be big on social media, and you just have to change with how time ago.
I'm actually glad you just mentioned the use of Instagram versus flyers, because let's talk a bit about digital. So what does digital mean for you in your space, but also in general for small businesses? You know, really capitalizing on digital for small to medium businesses. What are you doing in the digital space in your business as well?
Digital is very important. We don't need a website to make money again. So you have people that set up their same Instagram as a shop now. So that's very, very important. It's easy and it's quicker.
Right.
But then when a song used to hot in Jamaica, it took like 1 year to cross over overseas. Now a song can be released today and the entire world's listening. So that just shows that digital platforms is like, you have, just like anything, you have positive and negative.
Right.
You lose the value of, and I'm talking as an entertainer, you lose the value of, not, so basically this then. Back then, you would have wanted to go on an event to see an artist because you could not see them. Right. Now I see them, I live them, everything they on me. I can just go and say, let me see what Drake had done today. Oh, I'm Keynote him here. I don't need to go see him at the show. I see him this. Or we go somewhere and you meet Ramesh. All right, I meet him. I don't need to go look at one Shenseea show to see him and say, hi, Ramesh. Because we can even communicate on those platforms now. Right. Back then I used to tour with TOK, and you know, remember the first show, first time I go to Europe with them, and the man them say, yo, don't use the telephone, you know, because the telephone is very expensive. No, that's not expensive. Right. And I'm telling this, and man, I go up on the phone and I call my mother and I say, yo, mama, I'm rich Europe, you know. Me have my own hotel room, it look good. And we talk for 3 minutes. And when I check out the next day at €320.
Yeah, yeah.
For 3 minutes. I could not pay it. No, I'm not exaggerating now. €320 at that time was 2 weeks pay for me on tour.
I believe
you.
I'm
just show you, say, when you look on it now, we can video call anybody across the world.
Exactly.
We can share something. We can share a live. We can share. Look at us now. You're all the way anywhere in the world right now.
Exactly.
You're looking at us live. We couldn't do that then time. They would have to pre-record it and then share it.
Right. And then it's even, how do you share it? You have to get networks to buy in. It's then a much bigger production to make it happen, where now it's almost easier for it to be a seamless reach. Much, much easier because of the digital age. Let's talk a bit about the customer experience. Because in your space, there's, again, I spoke about being a consumer. So people typically don't think that they're consumers when they think about the arts, but all of what your business is, people are consuming what you have for sale, even if it's the music. How important is customer service, and is it something that you think we do well in the Caribbean?
It's very, very important.
Yeah.
Without the customer, we can't get the sales.
Correct.
It's very important, but I think, I don't want them beat me, but the Caribbean have the most loving and kind people because I travel the world. But I think the rules and regulation for our customer service is the poorest in the world. Put it like this. I see my big and fat. I love my belly. Any restaurant I go in America, I'll eat half of the food and I say, sir, I don't like it. Them take it back and they don't charge us. Right. Jamaica, if you ever smell the food. And I've been to Caribbean countries where I go to the restaurant and just taste the food, and I say I don't like it, and it's an issue. Which, so, we can't tell a man how to run them business, but I can be honest here, in the Caribbean, people person, we're the best. We know that for a fact, because you can know when you go to a hotel, it's a different vibe.
Right.
But maybe it's the rules and regulation from the boss, them and them stuff that we're. to me, it's ridiculous because I've seen American company come in the Caribbean and their rules is different from when we're in America.
Right.
So I don't think we do a great job of it. Also, sometimes the people themselves is the reason for that because when we go back to music now, the entire world respect and appreciate our music more than us. Remember, I don't want to get too political, but we have to talk facts. Remember, a lot of these countries, the same politicians, they don't respect the music, they don't support it. But when they're doing politics, who do they call? They call on all of the artists to come and perform. They call on all the artists to the jingles and to this and to that. And they utilize us. So again, I don't think that we use what we have properly compared to how the world will do it.
Right. How can we improve on the customer service aspect of things? What do we need to do?
Simple. Just believe in it and execute it.
Right.
If I believe in Ramesh as a fine. Ramesh is one of so-called top producers and business person as well as a manager. That's the difference with me now. I take my music as a business. A lot of these entertainers and other team members of the team, they don't do it like business. Say, for instance, now, somebody book somebody for a show. They have to say, all right, the performance time is 10, and then put it on the contract. Say, oh, I need that event at 7. Because they know the artist, them always late. Now, if you are going to be a product, not because you're a human being, mean you're not a product, you're still a product. So you need to act like a product. You need to preserve that product. That means you take care of yourself. And then when you're selling that product now to whoever is buying it, which would that be the promoter or whoever is buying it, you need to execute it properly. So that means you need to look good, and you need to come and do your job good, and you need to do it on time. Just like anything, if you go in a shop, if I look on a box right there and it looks squishy, I'm not going to buy it compared to one that look refreshing. Right. I'm going to look on the date and say when the milk can expire. And if the expiry date, I always buy the one with the longer expiry date.
Speaking of expiry dates, not that one is coming anytime soon, but what's next for Ramesh?
Boy, maybe they have to just check into flow businesses one next.
Aye. That's always one of the hardest questions to answer, isn't it?
No,
what's
it's not
next?
hard because, as I say, I'm a person that keep on uplifting stuff.
Yeah.
At the moment, my clothing line is doing great. My promotion is doing great. I think right now, me as Ramesh Entertainment, executing events, executing stuff for corporate companies is more that I'm moving more to because, as I said, I have a huge team. So I'm more in execution of that more than anything else. The music is doing good. The clothing is doing good. The artist is doing good. The talents are doing good. So it's just more, I think more, you notice when they say Ramesh, them think about the artist first. A lot of people don't even understand how much hits I've produced because I push them out, but I would promote the artist more than the song.
Right.
So I think now, Ramesh, as big as I am, I'm more promoting Ramesh more than anything else.
The brand Ramesh.
Yes, because when you go there, I shouldn't say a manager. I produce fling with Ding. And you understand? So I more want people to look on Ramesh and say certain stuff. Like, flow business come and say entrepreneur. Yeah?
So why you have to say it so fancy?
I like a long word, them entrepreneur.
It's the wrist for me and the twist of the mouth. I don't know if you guys could see it behind the mic, but I love that we have a Caribbean-wide audience. And, the idea, as I said to you before, sometimes it feels for me like a tricky question of what's coming next because it's almost like you don't know if you want to put it out there just yet or you want to reserve it a little. But I'm excited that we have a Caribbean-wide audience because Odyssey with Yendi is actually going global for the next season.
Jesus Christ.
So we actually...
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Love that.
Thank you.
Love that.
Thank you. All the thousands of fans in the room. Thank you. All of which are my subscribers, if you know what to do. But the fact that, we've typically had Jamaican guests on the platform. I said we, I don't know why, but I have typically had Jamaican guests. But we're now going to have international guests. So I'm just going to put a little not so shameless plug out there that's what's coming next in that space.
So apart from that, though, you have anything else working on?
I just told you I don't like that question.
No,
why would you do that?
Because I'm asking.
Yes.
So you can't give me a little hint on the flow business.
I don't know if I love when we switch roles like this, honestly. The way that you spring it on me, I'm not quite sure it No, I'm gonna
Let it out.
I'm gonna stay in the interviewing seat. No, they sound like we need a therapy session when you say let it out.
All right, I have one more question then.
Oh,
You
sure.
know, as a beautiful female, I want you to tell the ladies them out there that's doing stuff other than selling clothing and doing glam, because they always a pretty woman for only do glam and sell clothes and model. Like there are a lot of beautiful ladies there that's hardcore workers. What would you say to them when them don't get the respect? Because it's a next thing in business, you know.
It is.
We as men, we have things like easier. The women them fight it hard because you know a little hot girl come and say, Ramesh, I want to be a secretary. Everybody are gonna say because she's working with them think some different stuff. So as a beautiful lady that's have to deal with so much people, oh, it's stay out there.
By the way, you're definitely coming for my job. It's an interesting question, and I actually like the way that you prefaced it. Let me tell you why I like the way you prefaced it. Because if women say that we're often not taken seriously in the space, you normally get a response of, Lord, sit them here again, I'm always complaining. But the fact of the matter is, whether we want to accept it or not, we still live in a world that is primarily patriarchal. We still live in a world that primarily, as a woman, you feel like you have to work twice as hard as a man to show that you're worthy and valuable and an asset in the space. And what I would say is, be authentically you. Obviously, your face leads a space, your appearance leads a space, but once you open your mouth and your substance comes out, your knowledge is apparent, people have to take you seriously, and they often do. Know who you are, be very sure in who you are, and stand very firm in that and not be afraid to take up space. Speak as loudly as you need to and take up space unapologetically. That's what I would say.
Also, how is it being a mother? I have to tell the people, you know.
I feel like this is
Because
literally
guess what? No, me I can talk about this now, 'cause
retribution.
here what I go on now. People, you know what people always tell me?
Tell me.
As someone that's so busy and I work crazy hours, they always say I put my children first.
Right.
So that's one thing with me. I'm growing up, I wasn't really someone that was loved by family apart from my mother and my father, but they worked very hard, but I was like the outcast because I was the last one and father did bad.
Right.
So I have a lot of brother and sister, but we just want to ask, you know, I'm going to tell them. I'm going to tell them not about ask. I know you're a great parent.
Thank you.
I know you're a great wife, a great business person, everything in one. But I want to tell the people them how to balance family time with business because you have to. Because we as business person, them not understand. Although we're in entertainment and everything, that's our love.
Right.
The family time
It
is
comes
really
first.
the relaxation
Absolutely.
and the important time.
Well, the timing of you asking me that is very interesting because I have a 9-year-old little girl who is in grade 4. And here in Jamaica, we do what's called the PEP exam. It's a school leaving exam to matriculate into high school in grade 4, 5, and 6, and then they take a cumulative score. So this week, my daughter had her first PEP exams being in grade 4. I'm actually shooting my current season now, and there was a guest who was to be scheduled to shoot on Tuesday. Tuesday was my shoot day, and they asked to shoot on Wednesday. Her exams were Wednesday and Thursday. And the shoot time they asked for was 1 o'clock. My daughter came out of her exam at 1 o'clock. And my conversation with her before, because she was worried about it, that's the truth. She was on edge about it, and she said, Mommy, when I finish my exam, can you make sure you're there at 12:59? And when the client asked me to schedule on Wednesday at 1 o'clock, I said, I absolutely would love to interview you. And I truly know, because I'm a woman of faith, everything happens exactly as it should, but I can't shoot on Wednesday because I'm going to be at my daughter's school at 12:55 to pick her up after her first PEP exam. So I think it's also the beauty of running your own business and being your own boss in a sense, that I'm able, it's not lost on me that it's a blessing, that I'm able to schedule my work days, but no matter what, my work is never to the detriment of my family. Absolutely never to the detriment of my family. She will never forget her first PEP exam. Her mother was there. And then, just because I'm going to tell you, and then Thursday was her second exam, and then she came out, and then I picked up her and a few of her friends. We went to TGI, we ate all the food we wanted to eat, and then we got home, and I was like, I triple dog dare you guys. Whoever jumps in the pool in their uniform will get something, and all of them just chuck off in the pool in them uniform, except the shoes came off, and it was really exciting. And again, that she turned around, soaking wet in her uniform, and she says, Mommy, this is the best day ever. I'm so grateful for you. Those are the
Priceless.
things that matter.
Priceless.
Truly priceless. Yeah.
You can take over back.
Oh, thank you for giving me back my job. I think it's important to strike a balance. The work is critical. You know, what we do as business people is critical. But again, I maintain it should never be to the detriment of the people you love and your family.
And it's not, well, I'll be fair, it's not even for me.
Yeah.
I should really spend more time with my family, but I try. And the biggest thing is putting out the effort.
Yeah.
Instead of getting up every day and have excuses and this, at least you try. The effort is more important than anything else.
Yeah.
Even a call, even a video call, as I say, it's very important.
Absolutely.
You understand?
It's the
You cannot say, oh,
communication.
made that work. I'm even answer the
No.
call.
You
Call
have to
back.
be there. You have to be there. That's why we have innovation.
Yeah.
They can see you, they can feel you, they can know you, they are as important as the work. So that's important, for sure. Is there anything you'd like to say as we wrap up, Mr. Major?
We finish already?
Oh, you want to stay? The people have a life to live, you know? You don't have money for make. Okay. Yeah?
I just like sharing my past to these young business people them out there. Because, you know, people who have to understand, say, small business can become big business.
Yeah.
And we have to start small. Me no business when nobody wants to say. Me never see a company where just come and just go up your and just stay up there.
Yeah.
You have to start somewhere.
And I will even say, you know, you just said you have to start small. I will even simplify that sentence and say, you have to start. Just start. A lot of the time, I think we get in our own heads, we convince ourselves that we can't do it. But as I said in the beginning, whether you think you can or think you can't, either way, you are right. So thinketh a man, so he is. So just start. Yeah? All right. So I want to thank you so much. You know, I love spend time with you. You're my G. Love to chat with you and catch up with you. And thank you so much for sharing with the viewing audience. I'm positive everyone had a takeaway or two or three.
Yeah, I have a big up Flow Business.
Absolutely.
And Flow Business, I'm telling you here live. I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you this live right here.
I feel like a business pitch is coming.
You can utilize me for the next 3 months in anything you need to do. So if you want me to answer questions for people out there that are asking, you can just communicate to the Flow Business people and fix things. Free!
Oh, that's on record.
No, people know I'm a businessman and I charge for everything, but that's free.
The promotion, the pitch is free.
And the conversation, them.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's
Rich
actually...
can give me a thing. Right, Kadeem? Where's Kadeem? Even 1%.
It's the perfect segue, actually, because Ramesh just gave the perfect description or example of what you need to do when you're going to pitch yourself, right? Yes, we can agree on that? Well, I want you to stay tuned because we do have the pitch competition coming up next right here with Flow Business. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to the 2022 Innovation Pitch Challenge Finals. Throughout the Innovation Conference, we invited small business owners from across the Caribbean to pitch their business plans for a chance to win a share of $15,000 USD in cash and services. 6 finalists were chosen to share their pitch with our expert judging panel. Today, they'll be vying for first, second, and third place. Let's meet our panel of distinguished judges. Gia Abraham, CEO of CAC 2000. Kadeen Mairs, CEO of Dolla Financial. Amanda Span, Head of Community at Tech Beach Retreat. Gary Sinclair, Retired Telecoms Executive, Executive Company Director. Susanna O'Sullivan, VP of North Caribbean at CWC. And Sam Naoshi, Senior Director at Flow Business and BTC Business. And here are our 6 finalists. Hailing from Grenada, Nima Anvar of Guest Chat. From the Cayman Islands, George Wahope of emailchaser.io. From Trinidad and Tobago, Nikolai Gilazo of Sphere Marketplace. From the Bahamas, Demetria Turnquist of Miracle Nature. From Jamaica, Jovan Miller of Polycloud Interactive. And also from Trinidad and Tobago, Lauren Peters of Nuwan Security and Solar Systems Limited. They're ready to share their plans for growing their business in the digital era, and we know they'll all be brilliant. So let's give a warm welcome to our judges and our finalists.
All right. Thank you so much, Yendi and Romesh. That was truly amazing. I love the organic conversation that you guys have, very practical advice, very entertaining. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. What a great intro to the pitch contestants that we just saw. This is the time that we've all been waiting for. It is, the innovation, the grand finale for the innovation pitch, challenge. We're really so excited to, for this moment, and very impressed with all the submissions that we had from across the Caribbean. Just to remind everybody what this is all about. Every innovation conference, we hear from truly successful entrepreneurs that have already made it and broke through the barriers of success. But what we also thrive to do in this session is really showcase and highlight and empower the entrepreneurs that are going through the struggle every single day, going through the trenches day in and day out, and who are trying to break into success. Right, so that's really the whole, focus that we started this. And when we started this innovation pitch challenge, we've had about 300 or so submissions from across the region, and that alone shows how important this initiative is to see that much interest and that much creative business coming out of the region, and that's just truly inspiring. Without further ado, why don't we jump right into it? Starting off with Lauren Peters, who is the CEO of Nuwan Solar, based out of Trinidad.
Hello, everyone. I am Lauren Peters, the First Lady of Nuwan Solar. Based in Trinidad and Tobago, my company imparts technologies and procedures for renewable energy sector. The problems we face today on our environment is high carbon emissions, low on oil and gas reservoirs, and the many effects caused by climate changes. So we have found the solutions for homeowners, businesses, and those in agriculture to understand the benefits of going solar. Nuwan Solar is a new dynamic female engineering team which designs and we supply and install many solar systems, solar lighting, solar water heaters, and solar off-grid systems, solar cameras, and much more renewable energy technology. Despite starting during a pandemic, we remain optimistic as we were assured that the sun will come out tomorrow. We also do energy auditing and education on energy efficiency. To date, we have installed over 50,000 watts of renewable energy throughout our country, and we plan to install many more as we grow with flow, adding much more clients to our services. Reducing our carbon emissions are number one goal for many Caribbean countries and other countries throughout the world. Can pivot to success by the digital products that we have to offer. One of our many goals is to provide opportunities for women in solar, as they can be a key part in this world-changing initiative. I believe with clean energy, responsible energy consumption, and the participation of individuals to understand solar systems, they can gain the knowledge and be proactive to implement these systems. There are so many opportunities for the use of these systems and services that Nuwan Solar offers. Throughout the Caribbean, we are blessed with the renewable energy of the sun, and customers are seeking an affordable alternative option. And with the growing interest, we recently opened our flagship showroom where customers can interact with the technology of the future. Yes, we have competition, and it may be the utility companies. But what makes Nuwan Solar unique is that we have 100% financing for customers to make their investment in standalone renewable energy systems. We provide a business-to-business, business-to-customer, and business-to-government model, ensuring that these systems are affordable and accessible for everyone. Nuwan Solar have an extensive social media presence. We plan to introduce our energy savings calculator This is one of our digital products that we plan to educate, engage, and empower individuals to understand their energy needs. Energy efficiency is one of the key players in reducing our carbon emission. Individuals are notified by their own power consumption. Let's not forget our future generation. Yes, with renewable energy, we can. Our clients have tripled. From our first quarter, we see massive financial progress. And our clients range from oil and gas companies to manufacturing businesses. With the integration of these digital products, I want you to imagine your life with little or no electric bills. And when you think of your future, think of Nuwan Solar as we let the sun be your power.
Good morning.
Wow, that was truly amazing.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Lauren, for that amazing presentation. And kudos to you and all your success. It seems like you have a great business model. You seem to be a very strong, empowered leader in a space that really is helping the community with sustainable energy. So kudos to all your success so far and everything that you're going to bring. The question that I have
Thank you.
to kick things off, obviously I'm here with an amazing cast of judges from all different backgrounds, but I'll kind of kick things off and get it going. But I assume there's a lot of providers of solar panels in Trinidad, across the Caribbean. I know in Jamaica there's a lot of providers. My question is, it sounds like one of your competitive advantages is providing financing to your customers. Can you explain a little bit how you do this, and then what else above that differentiates your business from the other providers?
Thank you for that question. The Nuwan Solar offers 100% financing only for standalone systems in our country because of the limitations for the grid supply. And because we have backup power with the batteries, that tends to be a
I think, Lauren,
little.
you're on mute, or I'm not sure if there's a sound issue here, but I'm not hearing you.
Are you hearing me now?
Still can't hear you.
Okay.
Now we can, yes. We're live.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you. So to answer your question, Nuwan Solar provides the 100% financing for those who required standalone systems. Because in Trinidad and Tobago, we only use backup power and it's different from the other Caribbean islands. The cost of it is a little high. So those that who need and require these standalone systems, we offer them the opportunity to get financing through the company once they qualify. And what else makes us unique? We are the only female engineering company on the island. But not only catering to Trinidad and Tobago, our knowledge for our educational products can go throughout the Caribbean and the world because you can access our digital products anywhere. So that makes us unique, and that will make us one of the top engineering companies for solar.
Great. And I know that Gia over here is actually in the sustainable energy space. So maybe Gia, I'm sure you can ask something.
Yes. Hi, Lauren. Nice to meet you. So from one CEO
Pleasure.
of an energy and indoor environmental company to another one, I see whereby you say you want to do training for women. Have you formalized that into a program that you can take into the inner city or through the areas of Trinidad, like Laventille and those areas? And if so, have you also considered getting grants from different areas to address the SDGs from the UN side?
Oh, yes, definitely. We have contacted companies, well, NGOs. We've already worked with an NGO to implement these products where we train women in solar and installation and how it works and actually give them the opportunity to come on board to work with us after. We have made proposals not only in Trinidad and Tobago, but also in Jamaica and other Caribbean countries that I will be presenting this training, where you will see solar companies hiring women in the industry.
Okay, thank you very much. And so at this time, I would like to pass it over to our next finalist, Nima from Guest Chat.
Hi there, my name is Nima Anvar. I live on the island of Grenada, where I was a hotel manager for 22 years. In 2020, when COVID hit, everything started to change, and I gradually moved into this new venture called Guest Chat. Now, in 2019, when I was still a hotel manager, we paid $42,000 worth of commissions to Expedia, Booking.com, and the rest, what we call the OTAs, or online travel agents. For us, that figure represented 20% of our total revenue. And post-COVID, these days, people are paying 25% commissions and up. This is a problem for most hotels around the world. We are very thankful that we're getting bookings, but not very thankful that we're getting 25% of our revenue going over to the OTAs. And so at that time, I started looking at how are people actually booking and what can I do to prevent this? And I think we're all familiar with this process. We start out on Google looking for a place, find our way to Expedia, and the research shows that we visit an average of 38 sites, including different hotels, kind of shopping, looking at TripAdvisor, comparing. And the irony of it is the majority of the hoteliers and general managers don't know that these guests are coming from Booking.com and actually window shopping and looking at their site. They also don't know that they're leaving the hotel site and going right back to Expedia to finish the booking. So I started to think to myself, what if there were a way to keep those guests? And what I did was install a live chat widget on our site so people could ask questions. It was like connecting a spigot to a water line, and people were asking all sorts of questions about rates and availability. I would have never known it had I not put this chat capability on. And the problem now was I discovered this new channel that existed always on my site, but I couldn't handle the volume of chats coming at me, and my staff couldn't answer quickly enough, so the people would just leave. And that really was the beginning of Guest Chat. Think of it like a digital receptionist who's always there on the website, ready to offer rates, answer questions, and make reservations. And what it did for us was save us a significant amount of time answering questions, and we got more bookings by being available 24/7, instantly responding, handling multiple chats, offering rates, handing off to a receptionist at the front desk if needed, and it increased our bookings. Now let me show you exactly how it looks. Here's the website. Here's the chat widget. People are looking for availability, so they go on, they put in their date of arrival and departure, and immediately are able to see the different room categories that the hotel has available. And once they see the rate and they like it, they hit book now, go to the hotel booking engine, put their name, credit card details, and they're good to go. Now, we're currently doing this for 15 properties in the Caribbean and the United States, and as you can see, we're charging a monthly subscription of $95. The average return for hotels in terms of the requests and bookings that they're getting through us is $1,275 a month. And based on that rate, we're giving them a 13-to-1 return on investment. Now we know we can do it for more properties. Our goal is to get 900 annual subscriptions in the next 5 years, and we've just gotten started. Now the market is quite big. There are, in terms of independent hotels throughout the region, North America and the Caribbean included, there's about 25,000 of these independent properties. They're 3-star and 4-star economy class through upscale properties with an average daily rate of about $150 and up. Now, unfortunately, there are competitors all around the world, and they're ahead of us by 3 to 5 years. Ask Suite out of Brazil has 2,000 hotels under their belt, and Quick Text out of France has more than 2,000. They're mainly focused on Europe and Latin America, but they're heading over into Asia and North America, and we're just starting out, focusing on the Caribbean first and then reaching out to North America. Our key differentiator is that we're hotel managers. We know what that is, and we're able to bring that practicality to the table. Now, our weak spot really is where we need the assistance, and that's the ability to be able to reach hotels. We're currently doing it with weekly emails targeting ideal clients and customized videos. We post on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube on a weekly basis. We also have a weekly show about the confessions of a hotel booking bot, where we highlight entertaining chats for the week. But where we really need help and our problem is to increase our clients, and that's really by marketing. And if we were fortunate enough to receive the funds and support, we would put it towards marketing. Thank you so much for your time.
Gary Sinclair, you have an incredible platform, sir. I just can't figure out what I'm missing there. Your pricing model is super compelling. I can't imagine which small, medium, or even huge hotel in the Caribbean wouldn't want sort of interface with your platform. So here is my question. I know you're focused on winning this competition, right? But if you had your way and you were going into a first round of funding, how much cash do you actually need right now to take you to the next level? I know you've given that some thought. How much would you need to take you to the next level?
I think I would need about $250,000.
That's all.
Yeah.
And what would you do? What would you do? What would you do with that $250,000?
So we have learned to be so frugal through COVID, and we're just on a shoestring budget, and we're competing with companies that are just huge in comparison, 80, 90 employees, and we're basically doing this with, in essence, 3 or 4 people. So part of that would be increasing our capacity. Human resources would be one. Currently, you're looking at the sales guy. I just got off calls with different hotels before this session, and so it's to be able to scale in terms of human resources and, of course, reaching out. Marketing is our weakness. I just don't have the kind of time to be able to do it. I don't have the know-how. This is somebody who has never been used to doing sales. I was a hotel manager. And so I'm learning all these things that I've never had to do before.
All right, no, thank you, Nima. I think this is a great idea. You shouldn't have any problem raising that kind of funding to get you going. But I will turn you over to Amanda now to ask you another question.
Sure, thanks.
Thank you for your pitch today. So I was listening in, and I heard you say that you have 15 customers already. I'm curious to know what was the cost of acquiring those customers? How did you go about that? Were there any strategies or tactics that worked well? And what might you do differently moving forward if you were to win today, or if you were to come into the 250,000 that you would ideally like to grow and scale your business?
Sure. So the 15 clients, each client, I would say, cost us about $50 to get, because we're making a very, very simple assessment. We target them based on those criteria that I told you guys about: 3-star, 4-star, over $150. And then beyond that, once we see we have an ideal customer, it's us making a customized video that is 90 seconds maximum, sending it to them and saying, this is exactly how it looks on your site, and this is what it does. What you guys essentially saw there. And that costs us virtually nothing. It costs us time in the sense that we have to create it, and that just takes 30 minutes. So that's that. In terms of being able to take that and scale it, yeah, that's the issue. Can I scale this? Like, okay, currently I'm each week going at about maybe 12 to 15 properties that are targeted and customized for them. Can I scale that on a massive way? That's the issue. That's where I would need the funding. And that's how marketing could really help too. Because if I'm sitting there doing, sharp shooting where I'm going after specific hotels, it's very different from if it is inbound marketing, where somehow I've developed a strategy to get people to come to me instead of me having to go to them.
For sure. Thank you.
I have one more question, like Nima, just on the topic of scale. Is there a growth potential beyond your cap of $95 per month? So are there opportunities in the future to grow that, recurring revenue with your customers beyond the 95% or the $95 per month, by maybe cross-selling, upselling opportunities with the services the hotels offer, or is it just purely on the booking?
There is, except we've been quite shy about doing such a thing until we prove to the customer that we have something. So, for example, we have the capacity to upgrade or upsell. However, we purposely don't do it until we can prove to them, like, look, here it is. Like, and we can show them with the analytics that we have. Oh, look, this is how many you're bringing in on a monthly basis. To go to that next level, we would need their sort of confidence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nemo. We're going to be moving on to the next pitch. Demetria?
Man, I know y'all tired of seeing them gals with their burn up colorful skin. Face white and spotty, neck black. Face white and bumpy, arms black. Face white and burn up, legs black. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to embrace your natural skin color. The skin is the largest organ on the human body. Are you trying to find products that treats your skin problems without changing your skin color? Well, I'm Demetria Turnquest, and I'm delighted to introduce you to Miracle Nature. Miracle Nature is an organic skincare company that provides products for both men and women, ensuring that they obtain smooth, clean, flawless skin. We provide soaps, scrubs, creams, astringents, and lip balms. Our products doesn't contain any chemicals or steroids. The overuse of these substances causes acne, bumps, blemishes, skin pigmentation, and skin discoloration. Miracle Nature started in 2014 due to my personal experience with acne. I experienced acne while competing in a beauty pageant, and due to this, I decided to drop out. I was devastated, depressed, and my level of confidence was very low. At this point, everyone was trying to help me. My parents and I went to many dermatologists trying to get help for my skin. Unfortunately, the products were not treating my skin problems, but they made me extremely white. So white to the fact that my friends and family were teasing me, calling me Michael Jackson. At this point, I became eager to help myself. So one day, I decided to ask my parents, hey, what were people using before skin products came into existence? They said bush medicine. I said, really? The treatment is in bush medicine? So I decided to wash my face in bush medicine every day. After a while, I finally see some relief in my skin. My skin was no longer irritated and inflamed, but I was aiming for flawless skin. So I decided to add a few additional products in my mixture. My mixture included bush medicine, fruits, and vegetables. At this point, I saw a major difference in my skin, and friends and family saw it also. Everyone wanted to try whatever I was using. So I decided to give a bottle to each friend and family member. After that, they saw major differences in their skin. They started recommending persons to me. So I decided to transform my mixture into a soap. After creating my first batch of soap, I sold all those in one day. Customers started asking, do you sell scrubs? Do you sell serums? Do you sell creams? So I decided to create those products and add those to the skincare line. Then eventually I started making deliveries throughout New Providence, Bahamas, shipping to the Family Islands and shipping to other countries. Unlike my competitors, Natural Glow and Truthsy, who provides products for mainly women, I provide products for women, men, and children. In the year 2021, I have attracted approximately 4,000 customers bringing in a revenue of $25,000. In 2022, I'm expected to obtain at least $50,000. I am expecting growth by marketing on a larger scale like TV ads, radio ads, and billboards. I am enabling growth by marketing and boosting my social media posts on Instagram and Facebook. The analytics would give us an idea of which contents customers prefer more. American Nature was created by a Bahamian gal. After winning this competition, I would use this publicity to boost my business, take all the knowledge from the coach, and purchase additional supplies for my company. Thank you.
I think, Kadeen, you wanna...
Hi, Demetra. Hi, Demetra. My name is Kadeen. I have two main questions. The first one is I'll ask both questions and then you can just answer thereafter. The first question is, you keep mentioning the word medicine. And when you mention that word, the next word is, regulation. Medicine goes in line with, pharmacy and drugs and ingredients. And, I just wanted to know, did you do any research in terms of would you require any regulatory approval for the ingredients that you'll be using? That's the first one. And then the second question is in terms, I think you're muted or audio. But my second question, still not hearing. It's probably an issue on our end. I guess we'll check. I think you're there now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'll just ask both questions. Did you hear the first question?
You said I keep mentioning the word medicine.
Yeah. So I just wanted to find out, your ingredients, are there any regulatory approval or anything, in, your pharmacy act in your country that you might need to pass? That's the first thing that I'd like to ask. And then the second question, I've seen the presentation, but I didn't see the actual product. It's a consumer product. So, marketing is the key to success. What does the packaging look like? I know you mentioned in terms of, you wanting funds to market the product, but we'd love to see what the product, what the marketing, what the branding would look like. Because as we know, people actually pick up, items off a shelf just based on how it's looked first and then based on how best it performs.
Okay, so in reference to the first question, I didn't mention the word medicine. I didn't say medicine. I use bushes. So the bush, natural products.
Well, I mean, bush is broad,
Okay, so in reference to the regulations in my country, my products were approved by the Ministry of Health. And in reference to you seeing the visuals, they're right here. Sorry, I included a photo at the beginning of my pitch. I don't know if you saw it, but it's the exact same photo. So the soaps look like this. They're box size and they're in clear plastic. And then this is the serum. This is the toning cleanser. This is the lip balm. This is the exfoliating scrub. And this is the cream.
Okay. I guess those are my two questions. I guess we'll move on to, Nikolai.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, how are you?
Hi,
You're speaking with Susanna. So I think if you're hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So if your skin is testimony to the product, I think you have a winner because you have great skin.
Yes.
But, you've tapped into a market that I'm familiar with. It's a market that has taken off over the last few years, right? So the demand is there, but there are quite a few players in that market. What is your differentiator? What's that sweet spot, that's going to make you grow? That's one question. And the other one is, when you spoke about your revenue, that averages around $6.25 per customer that you have, right, for those 4K subs. What is your top selling product? And what is the cost of that product to make that product relative to what you're selling it for?
Okay, so you asked what makes my products different. So what makes my products different is that men, women, and children can use my products. As proven, men, women, and children do use my product. And I sell the soap at $20. The soap and the lip balm sell the fastest. Like, they sold out all the time. I sell this, which is the soap, at $20, and I sell the lip balm for $10. To make the soap is around $5, and to make the lip balm is around $2.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that, Demetrio. So we're going to move on to George, our next finalist for Email Chaser.
Hi, my name is George, and today I'll be presenting my company, emailchaser.io. Emailchaser.io is a website that allows you to find almost anyone's email address, even if those email addresses are not publicly available. This is useful for people who are selling, so salespeople, sales teams, and the cool thing about this business is that it can be used by anyone in the world. So it's not just limited to the Caribbean, potentially people in the US, Europe, Asia, Africa, everywhere. Yeah, they can all use it. So I think there's a lot of potential for growth. I'll give you a quick demonstration. I was looking at the panel of judges, and I'm going to find Kadeen's email since he's one of the judges. So I'm just going to put in his name, and then his last name, and then I can see that he's the CEO of Dolla Financial, so I just Googled their company and found their website. So I'm going to put in their website quickly here. I click find email address, and it usually takes about 20 to 30 seconds. As you can see, it's loading, doing a bunch of stuff in the background to verify the right email, and it finds this email here. So I hope this is the right email, otherwise I'm going to look really stupid, but this should be the correct email. And in terms of sort of this presentation, what I want to take you through, I have this very brief slideshow. So the problem that we're solving is that salespeople need to find the contact information of potential prospects, but finding that contact information is very difficult because usually email addresses, for example, are not publicly available. So we solve this problem by creating Email Chaser and then obviously allowing the salesperson to find that contact information. The market is pretty big. So the sales software market is over $50 billion in revenue every year. Salesforce, which is the market leader for sales software, they do about $26 billion in annual revenue. And I'm not saying that Email Chaser is going to be Salesforce, but my point is that there is a very large demand in the global market for sales software. In terms of why now, so why would this business do well now? Well, I think there's a lot of reasons. Email usage is actually growing. There's currently over 4.3 billion active email users in the world, so it's probably the biggest platform in the whole world. And just in 2021, there was 5.4 million new businesses started in the US alone. A lot of those businesses are potential customers for Email Chaser, and that's just in the US. So, businesses are growing, email usage is growing, and I think it's just a great time to be starting any kind of sales software company. In terms of existing traction, this slide's slightly old. We've actually had closer to 4,000 email searches now that have been performed in Email Chaser in the last few months. We haven't really done any marketing at all. In fact, the Email Chaser software has been pretty buggy for the first sort of 80% of its lifespan. So even though the software wasn't really working as well as it should have been working, people were still using it, which shows that there is demand for this kind of tool. And we are technically still pre-revenue, and the reason why we're still pre-revenue is because we're in the process of setting up our payment gateway with CIBC Bank and Grand Cayman, and they've already approved it, but it's just taking a while to set up because setting up payment gateways in the Caribbean, well, at least in the Cayman Islands, is pretty difficult, but that should be set up in the next 1 or 2 weeks, so I'm excited to see how that goes and when we get our first sales. In terms of future growth, we plan to build a lot of new features over the next 6 to 12 months. I don't have much time here, so I won't go through every single feature here, but things like a lead finder, for example, which will allow you to find leads and prospects to contact, automatic follow-up emails, domain warmer CRM. There's a lot of things that we can go into and not just finding emails. And then in terms of the team, so I'm the only founder, so I started this company myself. I don't have any co-founders, but I do have 2 developers that I've hired to work with me on this particular website. So Frederick's based in London, and he's been a software developer for over 7 years. And then Huai is currently in Vietnam, but he's also a great software developer. And then in terms of marketing and how I plan to get users for this business, you can see that I'm currently in the process of writing articles like this to rank in Google. So I do a lot of SEO. I've been doing SEO for over 7 years myself, and I have this massive list of article topics, about 150 topics that I'll be creating content for. And the last thing I'll say is, in terms of how I came up with the idea for this website, I was flying from Cancun back to Grand Cayman, and the airline lost my bag. So then I emailed the CEO of the airline that I was flying on, and he actually responded and forwarded my email to the person who was in charge of finding lost bags, and I got my bag back. But without that email, that never would have happened. So I decided to make this tool because I realized that cold emails are quite powerful, and I thought that I could make a tool like this to help a lot of people, especially salespeople. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.
I'll kick it off there, George. Thank you so much for that presentation. Really cool story as well, kind of how you landed on this business. Glad you found your suitcase. And that you come from a sales background as well. That helps. And I like also how you're creating content. We heard from Miendi and Romesh that content is king, and that's really allowing you to be a subject matter expert in this area. I have 3 questions. I know I'm going to cheat a little bit because I was told that I can ask 1, but I'm going to ask 3, and hopefully they're quick. The first one is, who's your ideal customer, right, that you're going after? Because that customer, to me, is somebody that is doing recurring high volume email searches, like whether it's per week, per month. So who's your sweet spot of that customer? Is it B2B, B2C? That's the first question. The second question is more of a comment. So, I think this business could be a lot more powerful if you help find decision makers and their emails without knowing their name. Because in some cases, as a salesperson, you may know a company that you want to, go into. You don't happen to know who the decision maker is. So, are you doing anything around that? Because if you have someone's first name, last name, and company, I assume you can manually get this information. So that's my second question. And then third question is, I saw on the slide that you have a business that makes $100,000 US per month, which is about 1.2 million a year. Kind of want to know what that is if we have time afterwards.
Okay, sure. So I'll answer all 3 questions now. First question about who we're targeting, who's the ideal customer. This is a B2B product, so a random person is free to use the website, of course, but our target audience are other businesses that need to find contact information to do B2B sales. So that can range from small companies, maybe less than 10 employees, all the way up to 1,000 employee company. And we're still very early, so a lot of the features that we want to build haven't been built yet. So anyone who's looking at the website right now, please go easy on us. It's very early stages, but it's a B2B target. The second question that you asked, could you just remind me what the second question was? It was about...
of how do you enable the ability to find a decision maker without happening to know their name?
Sure. So that's a good question. And right now on the website, we have a feature called Lead Finder. So you can see it on the homepage and also in the top nav bar. But we scraped all of Crunchbase's website, which is over 1 million businesses and decision makers, and we have them in our database now. And you can, if you don't know the name of who you're trying to find, you can just select the industry that you want leads in, the location, for example, Jamaica, the US, whatever, and then also the position in that company. So maybe CEO or founder or CMO, whatever it is. And then you click find leads, and then we return all the relevant leads. So like thousands of relevant leads. And we're just about to release a new feature literally in the next few days, which will allow you to export all of those leads into a CSV file, basically, which you can then upload into your CRM with the email addresses included as well. So we're in the process of basically doing what you just said, where if you don't know the name of the person, you can use our lead finder, and it kind of solves that problem. And then the third question that you're asking about my other business that does about 100,000 US dollars per month. Yeah, it's
just quick.
that third.
You don't need to go into it. Just yeah.
It's so I own a website called thingstodo.cayman.net, and we sell tours in the Cayman Islands because the first company I ever started was when I was just turned 18, which was a water sports company in Grand Cayman. And so like boat tours, snorkel tours. I sold that in 2018, but I never sold the website or any of the online presence. The company's called George's Water Sports, but I still sell them all their tours and take a commission on the sales. So they're doing about, I'm generating about 100K per month in sales total. I'm not actually taking any commission right now though, because we're reinvesting all the money because they're growing pretty quick. But yeah, that's basically that whole thing.
And maybe I'll hand it off to Amanda. I think Amanda has a question.
Your company's really interesting to me because before I became an app entrepreneur and got into the tech ecosystem space, I actually was a publicist. So a lot of my life surrounded finding people's emails. I think this is really interesting, but one thing that I noted is that you focused on sales generation, sales leads and things like that. I probably see one pitch a week with a different company that is targeting the sales industry, trying to streamline it, automate it, make it just more just easier to process, right? It can be a very, very cumbersome process. So how do you plan on cutting through that clutter, right? You have so many small businesses right now who are getting 10, 15 emails a week from people saying, hey, I have this product that can make your sales process easier. How do you sell them on you versus all the other products that are out there? Additionally, there's a lot of 800-pound gorillas in this industry. There are, the HubSpots and a lot of other giants who, kind of dominate this industry right now, albeit, some of them aren't doing it that great. How do you compete with them as well?
Hey, thanks for those questions. So in terms of how we're going to compete in a crowded marketplace, there's a few things I'll say about that. One is that I personally think that the fact that the marketplace is relatively crowded shows that there's definitely demand for the product. So I think even though you're right that there's a lot of competition, and that's a valid point, I think it's still a good sign because it means that we're building something which people actually want and will pay money for, hypothetically. And then in terms of how we're going to differentiate ourselves, there's a few ways we're going to do that. One is we're going to make our email finding software more accurate. So one of the market leaders in the email finding tool space is a website called hunter.io. And we already find 21% more emails than they do, even though we're just a few months old and it's just basically myself and two devs. And we're just working on it part-time basically. And Hunter's been around for over 7 years, and they currently do about $20 million in annual revenue, and we're already 21% more accurate than they are. So I think we're just going to build a better product just by being better, basically. And we're already close to it. I think we've already done that, basically, but we're working on it still. And then in terms of sort of how we're going to get customers and all that kind of stuff, I've got over 7 years of experience doing SEO professionally, so I'm pretty good at creating articles and video content to get organic traffic to the website. So I think over the next 1 to 2 years, I'll be producing a lot of content that's going to rank in Google and other search engines for relevant keyword topics about cold emails and sales. And I think in the next 1 to 2 years, we're going to start having tens of thousands of people organically coming to our website. And then the final thing I'll say is Email Chaser is a tool, and tools are different than a lot of businesses because tools spread organically much faster than a regular business, because a lot of people will use a tool and they'll like it and then they'll recommend it to their friends or colleagues. And so I think there's going to be a big word of mouth component here. If we can build a great product that people like, then I think people will also share it naturally. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Also, Leslie, pricing model. How do you make money?
Sure. So we will be making money by charging a monthly recurring subscription. The amount we charge is based on how many email searches you want to do. So I suppose the size of your company or sales team will determine how many email searches you really want to do per month. So it can be anywhere from maybe $60 per month, that's US dollars, anywhere going to a few $100s per month, $500 per month, really depending on the amount of searches you want to do.
All right, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. We're going to move to the next. Sorry.
High demand here.
One quick question that I would want to ask is that with the advent of the Data Privacy Act that's taking place in most countries around the world right now, will this tool be in breach of that act? Because one of the things that you stated is that you're looking for emails, some of which are actually private. So how are you going to address that piece? Because that is a big topic right now in most countries.
Sure. So that's a good question. And first thing I'll say is we're not actually going out there and then finding email addresses. We're basically determining all the possible emails that it could be, and then we're using a bunch of methods to verify which email is actually correct. So we're not using any information that isn't already publicly available to determine the correct email. So even though it's very complicated what we're doing, it's not like we're sort of hacking into some company's database and stealing their emails. It's nothing like that. And then the second thing I'll say is we're currently in talks with a law firm in Grand Cayman about this to really make sure that we're not missing any sort of data privacy issues. So yeah, we're on that. We're on top of that already. So that shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now we're moving on to the next thing. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Polycloud is a gaming and animation studio that creates educational content for early childhood and primary levels. We were established in 2019 and have been growing ever since. At Polycloud, we believe that within every Caribbean child lies a hint of genius. It doesn't matter where you're from, whether it be Jamaica, Trinidad, St. Lucia, or the Bahamas, there lies a hint of genius within all of us. At Polycloud, we encourage that genius to shine using technology. How do we do it? Well, let me tell you. Our Caribbean culture is the main spice. We want kids in the Caribbean to feel represented and inspire a sense of confidence that they and their culture do matter. Secondly, creating content that brings out their appreciation and curiosity for STEM, while creating a universal tool that can be used by teachers and parents throughout the Caribbean. Imagine a world where kids want to learn as much as they want to play video games, where learning happens not only in the classroom, but at home, in the car, at grandma's house, or at our parents' workplace, no matter where you are in the Caribbean. Welcome to Polycloud, and welcome to Homework. Hey Flo, hey BTC, and what a guan audience. I'm Tom, and pick up yourself everybody, I'm Rocky, and we're here to tell you about your new learning platform, Homework. Us kids are distracted now more than ever before. I mean, we have all of this unfiltered content and games that our parents can't really monitor at our fingertips. It's really hard for us to focus on books. At Polycloud, we're all about bringing new technology to the Caribbean. After all, why should we get left behind? So, we thought about doing something different. Why not use what distracts us as kids to help us to learn? If we spend as much time practicing schoolwork as much as we played games, how much smarter we would be, man. In Jamaica alone, there are over 100,000 children between kindergarten and grade 3. This 100,000 doesn't include the children in our brother and sister islands. As for our competitors, well, there are currently not a lot of local players that focus on both early childhood and primary level content. It's kinda like a dead space. But for primary education alone, we have EduFocal and One-on-One. Internationally, we have ABC Mouse and Monster Math. And, well, a lot of other learning apps, really. But fortunately for us, we have something they don't have. We have cartoons. Not only that, but our cartoons seamlessly integrate into STEM-based learning activities. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh yeah, we have future learning with virtual reality. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Remember when we went to the zoo? Oh yeah, and we have augmented. Wait. Siobhan says we can't say that one yet. Anyway, Homework is meant to be the premier learning hub for kids in the Caribbean. Similar platforms have a yearly subscription cost of $60 to $100 per year, while Homework costs only $30, which is less than half the cost of the cheapest one, and the cost of your average textbook, with way more to offer. So far, we jumped from 10 to 200 plus downloads and expect to have over 1,000 users by the end of the year. Homework uses games and cartoons to unleash the genius in your child. Did you tell them how we want to give back to the community? Oh yeah, because we don't want anyone to miss out on our style of learning, we've made all of our educational videos available on YouTube for free, so parents and teachers throughout the Caribbean can use them as learning aids. With Flow's help, this could potentially impact millions of children for the better. The funds from this innovation challenge would be used to purchase hardware needed to transform our content to world-class levels. We'll also use it for marketing so that everyone can get in on the fun. And finally, to involve more great teachers from around the Caribbean in our content delivery so everyone can feel involved. We look forward to working with Flow and BTC to bring further innovation to the Caribbean. And remember guys, always go with Flow.
Morning, Javan. I'm Gia Abraham. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
A couple questions came to me. Oh, by the way, can you speak so we know if that we're hearing you before I start?
You're not hearing me? Or you?
Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
No, I'm hearing you. We were having some issues before. A couple things came to me. Number one, I just saw in your video that you're going to make these free on YouTube. So if that's the case, why would somebody subscribe? That's the first thing. If you're using a subscription model, are you planning, especially because within the West Indies, within the Caribbean, we have a high percentage of poverty and kids who do not have access to this. Are you planning to do your subscription sort of like a buy one plus one where persons can actually donate a subscription to a child? Thirdly, have you gone to the different governments to ensure that you're in compliance? And fourthly, across the Caribbean, we are very different. Jamaica is very different to the Eastern Caribbean, very different to Trinidad, Grenada. How are you going to make these videos applicable to the other Caribbean islands so that they can actually relate to it?
All right. Thank you for the questions. That's quite a loaded thing. Okay. So I'll start with the last one. So each Caribbean nation has their own curriculum. So what we do is we look on the information based on their curriculum and then create content with it. One of the reasons why it is that we would love to win this is that we can involve more teachers within the Caribbean to help us create content for those specific regions and have everyone within the Caribbean become involved. Basically, become a resource tool for early childhood, which is very not looked after well, for lack of words, within Jamaica and within the Caribbean, because that leads to lower grades when you reach further on in PEP and C exam. Could you please remind me of the other questions? I'm a little bit flustered.
Oh, no, I was saying that you said that you would be giving the videos for free on YouTube. So how would you expect persons then to subscribe if it's free on YouTube? And also with respect to your subscription models, are you planning to do something like a buy one, give one, so that it can give back to the community because of the high levels of poverty in some of the Caribbean islands?
Okay, thank you. Great question. Yes, definitely a buy one, get one and a donation system is being set up. One of the reasons why we kept it so low at $30 per year is because of that poverty within the Caribbean. We feel it as a responsibility. One of the reasons why it's free is we feel it as a responsibility to help children understand. We think that um, the knowledge of kids or people in the Caribbean isn't really utilized as a resource. And we think they're geniuses, really. So to give them an opportunity to watch it without paying is really a gift and a form of community service. Why it is that we believe that they would pay for it is because practice makes it perfect, right? YouTube is a revenue model as well, but practice makes perfect. You could watch as many videos as possible, but the game actually puts the child in the world where they are allowed to practice these um, STEM-based activities and interact with the characters, especially with like the VR where you look around and you're interacting with the world and you're learning about the world and cartoon world and real world. Hope I answered your question.
Yes, thank you. And over to Gary.
Gary Sinclair here. First of all, really, really love your platform, sir. You're using your skills to drive education in the region, which to me is a huge, huge plus. So, kudos to you. Please keep up the great work. I've got two questions. The first one is, because it wasn't clear to me, so I want you to just explain and clear it up. My sense is that digital platforms like these have more of a propensity to become viral if you create a community approach, right? It appeared that your approach is a kind of one-to-one approach, your platform and single students. Is there an ability, or do you create a sort of community of kids in your platform? Because I think that will create the ability to go more viral if you create or find ways to develop communities of kids who are getting involved at the same time, playing with one another or competing with one another at the same time. So that's one. Are you creating a community of educational options with your platform? And then two, I've asked it before, if you're in a first round of funding, what would you need cash-wise? How much cash do you really need to take you over the top? I know you want to win the competition, but how much cash do you really need to really scale and take you to that next level?
All right, thank you for that question. It's a pleasure to meet you. So as to what you said brilliantly about community, yes, the actual name of it is the Homework Club. And what we wanted to do, or what our whole aim to do, is do that, create a community for the Caribbean, something for ourselves, right, as Caribbean people, where kids can interact. I'm in Jamaica, a child in Trinidad. We have something to talk about, right? Also for teachers, to create a resource library for teachers to have access to, because again, early childhood here isn't really something that is very sought after. So to create something where in grade 6, because of COVID, there's a report by UNESCO where it says that children in grade 6 might not be able to read and comprehend. I feel like if we solve that from early on, we wouldn't necessarily have that great of a problem. So yes, agreed. Community interaction. Yes, we're working on that right now. We want to create it in a way where it's not Trinidad versus Jamaica or something like that, and create some thing. It's something else where we want to create that unity. And round of funding, 150,000 US would do us pretty well for now, because we streamline this process so we can actually create a cartoon and a level within 3 days. And I'd like you all to know that this isn't something that's going to stop. It's something that will continue. We'll always be revising it. Again, we believe that within the Caribbean, it's an untapped resource of just geniuses. And in the next 5 years, I'm excited to see what these kids will come up with, if we allow them to blossom. I'm going to stop talking because I talk too much.
So you mentioned that you were going to be using YouTube as kind of a lead magnet, but I didn't fully understand where the platform was housed. Is it just like a web app? Is it a mobile app? And are you using platforms like smart TV or smart TV apps, like distributing the subscription in the same way Netflix does on a Roku TV. Are you looking into platforms like that to make it more widely available?
Yes, yes. Actually, I can speak of Jamaica. We use a lot of Amazon Fire Stick. So actually, right now it's on the Amazon Store, Amazon Play Store, the Google App Store. We're not on iOS yet. I broke my Mac, unfortunately. So that's the problem. But yeah. So we're definitely exploring those platforms. Um, what's the? I'm so excited to talk to you guys. I'm just freaked out. What was the? What was the next question?
Yeah, no, I was just wondering like where the platform was, because I didn't know if it was a web app, a mobile app, a smart TV app. I just didn't know like how people are accessing the platform right now. So you answered.
Right, right. Right. So, and in Jamaica, the most popular ones are the Android and the Amazon Fire tablet. So we found it really important to address that and help out those kids, and then help the iOS later. Even though there's money there in the iOS, but again, it's a service that we want to unleash their genius. That's what I'm saying.
So, Jovan, Susanna here. I'm going to cheat a little because I was excited about this one, right? I have quite a few young nieces and nephews. So, Coco Melon plays a lot in our household. I think one of the things you have to think about in terms of next steps is the imaging and the videos within your lessons, right? There's a technique to it that grabs their attention because you're targeting the younger kids and their attention span is very limited. So that's one recommendation. If you haven't watched Coco Melon, take a look at it. There's a technique to that. And secondly, as you think about just the community, right? Think of data security.
Yes.
Because you're now extending your reach. So the security side of it, the cyber security is very important.
May I speak to that?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that. Yeah, it's a topic that comes up here a lot. All of the information minus your email address and the password is stored on your device. It was a decision that we took. We would have loved to do machine learning, but up until the data Security Act thing comes into full play, we decided it's best to keep it on your device, so it's on you. We don't want to. It's very important to us, right? That it stays there. And regarding the Cocomelon theme thing, yes, there's a secret here. Kids, if you change the image every 3 seconds or something like 3, 4, 5 seconds, that grabs their attention. I'm honestly trying to. Another thing for this is to raise ethics, morals within kids, and I would really like them to expand their attention. It's going to be very hard for us, but I get you. I understand. Thank you for the advice. I appreciate it.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Jovan.
Joe.
Really, really exciting platform there you have. We're going to move on now to another really exciting platform. We're going to hear from Nikolai from Sphere.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nikolai Jelizo, founder and CEO of Sphere. Thank you so much for selecting us to be part of the Final 6. I really hope you enjoy my pitch. We'll speak soon. Sphere to the world. I'm going to ask 3 questions that I'd like you to answer. Have you ever recommended anything to anyone and they ended up buying it? Did you get paid? Why not? Most people answer yes to the first question, no to the second, and they don't really have an answer for the third. And that's the problem. It's no secret that word of mouth drives the marketplace, accounting for as much as 80% of all sales. And we all contribute to this phenomenon by recommending products and services that we believe in to our friends and family, but get nothing in return. And it's not as though the opportunity doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist for all. Affiliate sales or affiliate marketing in the US is a $6 billion industry that accounts for 60 billion or just over 14% of all retail e-commerce sales. The people that work in this industry account for less than 0.3% of the population. And what do? They share links and they get paid. But we all share links. We all recommend products and services that we believe in to our friends and families. It's second nature to us as humans. So earning from them should be second nature as well. If someone can sell 100 pairs of shoes, they deserve to be paid for that 100 pairs of shoes. But if I can recommend one pair of shoes to my friend and he ends up buying it, I should be paid for that one pair of shoes. And I guarantee you, there are 1,000 people who can influence the sale of one shoe for every one person that can sell 100. The collective influence of the many far, far outweighs that of the few. The only question is, how do we harness it? How do we capture the influence of the many? And the answer to that question is Sphere. Sphere is a universal affiliate sales tool that enables any user of an e-commerce site to share anything with their friend just by sending a link. That link takes that friend directly to a product page, and if purchased, the commission goes directly to an account tied to the user's profile that they can then use to buy anything in the Sphere net. I like to say that Sphere is affiliate marketing done right because it's unbiased. It allows everyone the same economic opportunity. It shouldn't have to be your job to get paid for referrals. So it's Sphere, there's no contracts, no banking information required. Once you can add value to the marketplace, value will be added to you. In February 2021, we launched Sphere Marketplace, an e-commerce site for small businesses to sell goods and services with our Sphere Share function built into it. To date, we have about 4,000 users and we've made 1.8 million in flow-through sales for our vendors, and we've generated roughly 450K in sales, mainly from vendor subscriptions, deliveries, a small percentage of sales made through the website, as well as a small percentage of Sphere credits generated and spent. But what's most exciting is we've generated thousands of dollars in Sphere credits for our users just by them sending links to their friends and family. It's absolutely incredible. Our primary competition for the marketplace aspect of Sphere is most notably Amazon, because even though they're not local to Trinidad or the Caribbean, they have the lion's share of the e-commerce market. Other competitors in the space would be the likes of Planting Seeds, Carib Shopper, and Shop Caribe throughout the Caribbean. But Sphere is so much more than a marketplace. As cliche as that sounds, I mean it sincerely. Our vision is to make every person realize the value they bring to the world, and our mission is to create technology that enables the everyday person to earn from the referrals we all make daily. As it pertains to affiliate marketing, we're in a lane of our own, especially in the Caribbean. An affiliate model like ours is the first of its kind, and once it's completed, we're going to drive more sales for businesses than any other method in existence. Why? Because we are giving the power to the people. Our next step is to grow Sphere Marketplace throughout the Caribbean while simultaneously building and rolling out Sphere's Universal Affiliate Program. So any resources that we may receive will go directly towards that. Thank you so much for listening. Sphere to the world.
Hi, Nicola. Good morning. Kadeen here. I definitely
Morning.
like your e-commerce affiliate marketing concept, but I have two questions. How do you differentiate yourself from just another network marketing, affiliate marketing company? And with your marketplace, how do you compete on pricing with like an Amazon or the bigger players in the market? What would convince somebody to use your platform to purchase outside of just trying to refer a friend to get a fee?
Okay, so those are two great questions. And the first question, what differentiates us from another affiliate model, is the nature of affiliate models that currently exist are geared towards professional salespeople, people who are in the business to make money from referring. So you have to be a proven seller. You have to sign up to be an affiliate seller, and then you have to give them your banking information. We circumnavigated that entire thing because not everyone is a salesperson, but everyone is a person who influences sales. So we did away with the banking information, which is why we put the credit or credit account in a person's profile. So once you're a user and you send a link one-to-one or whatever the case is, because any user can send a link to their friend, And once that purchase is made, it goes directly to your account. So that just invites the average person who's not particularly interested in pursuing this as a career to still generate passive income from the referrals that we all make daily. And to answer the second question, our price point compared to Amazon charges 40 US per month, as well as an average of 15% commission per sale. Our model is, we have two subscription models right now. One is 1,200 TT a year, which is approximately $180 US a month, and 5% commission, as well as a $600 TT option with 10% commission on sales through the platform, which is about 90 US. And so our pricing point is lower than the likes of Amazon. And our affiliate model also allows the opportunity for the customers of small businesses to grow those businesses via Sphere. And so that's how we're gonna distinguish ourselves and hopefully make some waves.
Thanks, Nikolai. I think we'll move on to Susan, who might have a few questions.
Thanks, Kadeen. Nikolai, good to meet you. I'm Susanna. So
Pleasure
I
to
think
meet
you're
you,
onto
Susanna.
something. If we look at our customers today and even tomorrow, right? And perhaps it's because of the pandemic, these customers want that personalized touch, right? Because you're fighting for the same share of wallet, yeah? So that is why referrals work. It works today. But when I look at just your product and your operating model, yeah, I noticed that you don't set the commission. I believe you set the minimum at 5%, based on what I saw. Just to add to Kadeen's point, and it's more a comment than a question, you have to be mindful of your vendors transferring that commission cost to the customer, because the perception of your website is going to be critical. And if you're perceived as a website that your products are more expensive, then of course that's going to impact the value that you're trying to offer as part of your mission, right? The other thing, more of a question that I have is, you're doing the delivery. Logistically, why that model as opposed to having the vendor handle the delivery? Because I'm assuming there is some overhead. You've talked about revenue, but you haven't necessarily talked about the cost and the overhead that comes with that. Why take on the delivery yourself?
So, brilliant first comment, and we have thought about that. We take that on board. The purpose of the marketplace is, yes, a small commission percentage. The average affiliate sales commission is roughly 10%, and we allow the vendor to set their affiliate fee because, well, it's their business, so we don't know what their margins are that they're working with. So that'll be the premise of the affiliate network that we're building, is that it'll largely be in the hands of the vendor to determine what percentage they want to use to incentivize their customer base. As it pertains to the deliveries, the logistics of it, being a multi-vendor marketplace, you can add multiple products from multiple vendors into your cart. But as a user, Amazon kind of spoiled people like this. You want everything delivered to you at the same time. So what we did, which adds convenience to vendors as well as to users, is getting in one order, is we've decided that we will take on the deliveries. We do have vendors that carry out their own deliveries, but the primary model is that we do the deliveries, and that eases up the vendor, and the customers pay one delivery fee for, could be one product from one vendor or 10 products from five vendors. They're still getting it for the same cost. And so we factor that into be as convenient as we can be, because at the end of the day, when you're ordering, you're ordering from Sphere. So we want to keep that quality control per se in our Sphere as far as we can take that.
Yeah, no, good point. So I'm going to wrap up with my own pitch, right? I think, and I'm going to challenge you to extend your reach to other services, right? We typically, when we look at the marketplace, it's household, I mean, everybody's doing delivery for food, etc. There are telcos out there, right? And if you look at the operating model, transitioning to one where the touch point is less, leveraging companies like yours is an opportunity, yeah? So it's something that I want you to think of. And even those credits that you're offering customers, if you're partnering with utility companies, etc., those credits can go towards customers' bills. That's when you're adding real value, yeah? So I'm going to challenge you just to think beyond just the traditional marketplace and just extend that reach a bit, yeah?
I 100% hear and appreciate your comments, and those steps are in our roadmap. So look out for it. Hopefully, we have some exciting times ahead.
Okay. So, Susanna, I'm glad that you brought that up, because one of the things I was going to ask is how do those credits translate into either A, actual money, or B, have you also been cleared by the Trinidad and Tobago Central Bank to be able to use those almost, because they're almost sounding like a Bitcoin type situation, but you don't have that background set up with it. So how are you utilizing those credits for people to be able to access them? And has it gone through regulations?
So the credits are generated from commissions that are paid by vendors. So if it's, let's say, 20 TT, that will equate to 20 credits that would go to the user's profile, with which they can then apply on checkout whenever they're shopping on Sphere to get a discount on their purchase. So we are currently not money issuers because you can't withdraw the money from the system. But when we reach that hurdle, which it's in the pipeline to get that clearance, we'll approach that. But for right now, that is how you convert, or you can utilize the money, or the credits, I should say, is by translating it into products that you purchase. And so similar to a reward system right now, actually.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure.
Oh, you had the pleasure of closing out our pitch section for us. Sam, now we have some tough decisions to make, right?
Thanks, Susanna. Yeah, so I mean, wow, that was incredible. I mean, amazing business pitches on behalf of, the entire judging panel, BTC Business, Flow Business, and Tech Beach. Thank you so much for taking the time to contribute. It was actually a very tough job going from over 100 submissions down to the 6, but you guys did a great job today. So maybe a big round of applause for you guys, everyone. And so what happens next, right? I think what we're going to do is we're going to take about 5 minutes as a judging team to debrief and come back with who we think the first, second, and third place prizes should go to. At the same time, we're also enabling a poll on the chat. We want to hear from the community, so everybody can just go pick your top choice. We'll be back in about 5 minutes to announce the winners.
Hi, I'm Keston from Allegory. I'm the founder, and Allegory is a neuro-innovation company. We teach people how to regulate their brain activity to maximize performance. And we were part of the pitch competition with Flow, that's Flow's innovation series, and it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I think it's also nice that we got money, but we also got visibility, and that was really valuable for us. Also, seeing that there were other entrepreneurs in this space made me feel really hopeful, because attention is being brought to the entrepreneurship space and giving us the attention and in some cases the leverage that we need to climb and move forward. I think one of the other things that was really important that happened since then is that now we've expanded our user base to now 8 countries. Most of them are in the Caribbean, but it's nice to see users from the US and Africa and Latin America. That's really exciting for us. So for those who are coming to be part of the next installment, I want to say welcome. do your best mashup, because it really means something big for us. Not just for me as an individual, but for our region. You're the reason why this will change, why we will change, why our region will change in the future. Peace.
Last year's BTC Innovative Business Conference and Pitch Competition was simply amazing. We got a chance to listen to great speakers like Natasha May, and we ran off with one of her quotes, "All gas, no brakes, straight into 2022. Take a look at what we've been doing since we left the competition.
Is your enemy when you're growing a business. You need to move as fast as you can. We're all getting older. You need to go as quickly as you can.
My strongest advice is that you have to. It's a must. If you don't go digital, you're not going to survive in this new era.
So it's a must. Looking at many of your inefficiencies or growth limitations can be resolved by going digital.
The data always tells you something that you really don't know. And I guarantee you, when you start to do your own market research, it's going to shock you that the places you think are looking for certain things are not the ones looking for them.
From the very beginning to now, finding those mentors who are able to shine a little bit of a light for you in terms of what's been done before, ways in which you can approach it, and again, kind of give you that encouragement to stretch yourself.
Today we're going to be learning about 10 different digital revenue streams that you could be incorporated into your business to start generating more income online.
You know, they say new level, new devil. So every time the business grows a little bit, every time you increase the number of employees you have, you increase the scope of the business, there are new challenges that you've never had to deal with before that you have to learn how to navigate.
Hi, I'm Keston from Allegory. I'm the founder, and Allegory is a neuro-innovation company. We teach people how to regulate their brain activity to maximize performance. And we were part of the pitch competition with Flow, that's Flow's innovation series, and it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I think it's also nice that we got money, but we also got visibility, and that was really valuable for us. Also, seeing that there were other entrepreneurs in this space made me feel really hopeful, because attention is being brought to the entrepreneurship space and giving us the attention and in some cases the leverage that we need to climb and move forward. I think one of the other things that was really important that happened since then is that now we've expanded our user base to now 8 countries. Most of them are in the Caribbean, but it's nice to see users from the US and Africa and Latin America. That's really exciting for us. So for those who are coming to be part of the next installment, I want to say welcome. Do your best, mash up, because it really means something big for us. Not just for me as an individual, but for our region. You are the reason why this will change, why we will change, why our region will change in the future. Peace.
Last year's BTC Innovative Business Conference and Pitch Competition was simply amazing. We got a chance to listen to great speakers like Natasha May, and we ran off with one of her quotes: all gas, no brakes, straight into 2022. Take a look at what we've been doing since we left the competition.
Is your enemy when you're growing a business. You need to move as fast as you can. We're all getting older. You need to go as quickly as you can.
My strongest advice is that you have to. It's a must. If you don't go digital, you're not going to survive in this new era.
So it's a must. Looking at many of your inefficiencies or growth limitations can be resolved by going digital.
The data always tells you something that you really don't know. And I guarantee you, when you start to do your own market research, it's going to shock you that the places you think are looking for certain things are not the ones looking for them.
From the very beginning to now, finding those mentors who are able to shine a little bit of a light for you in terms of what's been done before, ways in which you can approach it. I'm gonna again kind of give you that encouragement to stretch yourself.
Today we're going to be learning about 10 different digital revenue streams that you could be incorporating into your business to start generating more income online.
You know, they say new level, new devil. So every time the business grows a little bit, every time you increase the number of employees you have, you increase the scope of the business, there are new challenges that you've never had to deal with before that you have to learn how to navigate.
Hi, I'm Keston from Allegory. I'm the founder, and Allegory is a neuro-innovation company. We teach people how to regulate their brain activity to maximize performance. And we were part of the pitch competition with Flow, that's Flow's innovation series, and it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I think it's also nice that we got money, but we also got visibility, and that was really valuable for us. Also, seeing that there were other entrepreneurs in this space made me feel really hopeful, because attention is being brought to the entrepreneurship space and giving us the attention and in some cases the leverage that we need to climb and move forward. I think one of the other things that was really important that happened since then is that now we've expanded our user base to now 8 countries. Most of them are in the Caribbean, but it's nice to see users from the US and Africa and Latin America. That's really exciting for us. So for those who are coming to be part of the next installment, I want to say welcome. Do your best, mash up, because it really means something big for us. Not just for me as an individual, but for our region. You are the reason why this will change, why we will change, why our region will change in the future. Peace.
All right, welcome back, everyone. This is the moment that we've all been waiting for. Super excited to do this. I thought it was hard going from 100 to 6, but it was even harder going from 6 to 3. But let's not waste any time. Let's jump right into it, and I'm going to try my best not to pull a Steve Harvey today. But starting with our third place winner, we are pleased to announce Nikolai from Sphere, from the Trinidads. Congratulations, Nikolai. All right, now let's go on to our second place winner. We are pleased to announce Jovan from Polycloud, based out of Jamaica. Yeah, and just to also make that announcement, on the polls in the audience, you guys had voted him as #1 as well. So congratulations, Jovan. All right, so can we get a DJ? Can we get some, drum roll or some music going on over here for our first place? All right, so the winner of the 2022 Innovation Pitch Challenge goes to Nima from Guest Chat in Grenada. Congratulations, Nima. Yeah.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there.
Amazing. I don't know if we have Nima on the line still. I don't know if you want to know. Okay. So, I just wanted to really thank all the contestants, everybody that it took time out of their day to submit this pitch. There he is, Nima. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
We'll be in touch. You have a great business. So, I think everybody is a winner, really. We'll be reaching out to all of you, even those who submitted the pitch that weren't called back, to work with you and helping your business grow. This is something we're super proud of. We're going to be having another session in the coming months, so keep an eye out for that. But on behalf of the entire judging team and Flow Business, BTC Business, thank you very much. And yes, that concludes it. And I'm going to hand it over to Nicholas now.
Well, thank you so much, Sam. What an exciting way to end off this Innovation Pitch Small Business Friday series. Wow. Listen, we had some amazing stories shared here today, and I trust you all have been inspired, because I know I have been. So, we started off with Kadeen Mairs, and listen, he shared his story with pride, and we should all practice this. So let me give you a little bit of takeaway from Kadeen. So failing is not bad. It helps you to find a groove that fits. Define your own success. Mindset is everything, and you are your business. You are your brand. Create a checklist and your roadmap that you want to follow. Check it, follow it day and night. Get obsessed with what you want to become. Your business is a reflection of you. And then we had our fireside chat with Yendi and Ramesh. Listen, they were flipping the script right back and forth. And Ramesh sharing his story through faith, through structure, through him coming from the grassroots to becoming a top artist manager and entrepreneur. And Yendi, who shared her story of wanting to become a talk show host from an early age. Now she lives her dreams, sharing her love of human experiences with her YouTube show, Odyssey with Yendi. Then we just named our Innovation Pitch Challenge finalists. And the winners are, in first place, Nima, and second place, Jovan, and third place, Nikolai. Listen, congratulations to all of our finalists. Congratulations to all of the participants who entered. Listen, you took the first step in taking your business to the next level. And on that note, the final takeaway, courtesy of Yendi Phillips, is that whatever you think you can do, whatever you think you can or think you can't, you're right. So for the entrepreneurs out there, who wants to launch your business, just start. Just start. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been my absolute pleasure. Again, I'm Nicholas Amore, and I'm going to be turning over to Delroy McLean, or Director of Product Enterprise and Regional Business Solutions, to bring us our vote of thanks and final remarks.
Thanks, Nick. Well done as always. To our keynote speaker, Kadeen Mairs, guest speakers, Yendi Phillips, Ramesh Major, our pitch competition finalists, our valued customers here and online, to all our guests online, to the Flow Business and CNW Business team, to members of the media, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you. It was Zig Ziglar who said, when you support small business, you support, what do you support? Dreams. You're supporting a dream. And I think we've done a very good job today of supporting dreams. Can we agree? We've seen our pitch finalists. It was amazing, our 6 finalists, what they brought to the table. And I want to send a special thanks to all of them for the amazing 3 weeks that they've spent engaging and sharing with us. We got to network. We got to learn. We got to engage. It was fantastic for the 3 weeks across the Caribbean, from Trinidad to Cayman, Bahamas, Jamaica. Amazing. I want to give another special thanks to Kadeen. His journey was enlightening, absolutely. To Yendi Phillips, to Ramesh Major, hey, be your authentic self. Won't forget that. Always challenging, I know, but it was a really good lesson to learn. A surprise thank you for you, Nick, for guiding us ably through today's proceedings. A hearty congratulations to our winner today in the finalists. We're here to support you. We'll be in touch. It's going to be an amazing journey, and welcome to the Flow Business family. We are proud to be the technology provider of choice. This is us supporting your dreams. And we're really, really happy and proud to have you here today with us. We know that as you grow, we grow. And as we are on this journey together, we'll continue to take the time to listen, to understand, to transform, and to develop our teams with you. We know we have a long way to go. We've been listening to our customers, we've been engaging, and we've been leveraging this to help us do what we're doing today, to make small businesses better, to make our businesses better, to grow together. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been fantastic. We have great things on the horizon, so many more things to come. I want you to stay tuned to the next installation of innovation, Small Business Fridays. We're going to keep seeing you. We're going to keep engaging. Have a great afternoon.
Yeah. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there. going in on the verse, cause I never been defeated and I won't stop now.